Tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Time to see double, as it takes two to tango.
Weaver, a high fly ball, deep center field. Going back is Nimmo. At the track, at the wall, gone! Joey Weaver.
The Twins come to Milwaukee for a set of games in the Brew City. Our Brewers-Twins coverage gets underway right here on WTMJ beginning at 6 p.m. tonight. We are your home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, August 22nd. Our top story, the debate stage is set for Milwaukee.
I'm Eric Bilstead, the hottest air of the year on our doorstep.
I'm Brandon Snide. Brewers looking for some home cooking as the division race heats up.
I'm Debbie Lozica. Everything's looking good on the roads so far. No major problems or incidents up on the board. And that's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, one more pretty decent day. Cloudy, warm, a little bit on the humid side with a slight chance of showers in the northern part of southeast Wisconsin. Partly cloudy and muggy tonight. Low down to 71. Right now it's 69 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee hard at work both this week for the debate and on next year's RNC.
Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News their job is wrangling the logistics for these big events.
We work very closely with Visit Milwaukee, and we also work very closely with the Republican National Committee's Committee on Arrangements.
Prange's already looking ahead to next year when the committee will help house all the delegates at the Republican National Convention.
Every official hotel room for the convention is actually contracted in Wisconsin, and so we're keeping all those visitors coming into the state next summer in Wisconsin.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, another debate will take place in Milwaukee this week. This one put on by a group focused on having civil discussions and keeping an open mind. The Braver Angels hosting a debate at Best Place Brewing. The organizer, Amy Teutenberg, telling TMJ4 News, a Braver Angels debate seeks to make community members more aware of the validity in opposing views.
We don't just need to stand there and shout insults or demonize one another. You can actually have a conversation with the other side in a civil and peaceful way.
That debate's scheduled to begin around 7 p.m. today.
The hottest air of the summer has its sights set on Wisconsin. An excessive heat warning set to take effect for all of our areas starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Forecasted feel-like temperatures, or real temperatures, close to 100 degrees. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Wisnansky says everybody should be limiting outdoor activities, even those whose jobs it is to be outside.
I also have big concerns for construction workers that are going to be outside all day tomorrow. You have to limit your activity. If you have employees that are going to be outside, please take it easy on them.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 6:10.
The excessive heat this week could cause some issues on the roadways. The DOT warning drivers to watch out for buckling pavement. Under the hot conditions, pavement slabs can expand and push against each other, causing that pavement to buckle up.
A 17-year-old girl is dead following a shooting late Monday in Milwaukee. Police said it happened on the northwest side, Granville and Bradley. They are still looking for suspects.
Community backlash continuing after a violent weekend in the city. Vigils springing up on the south side after two mass shootings left 13 people injured. A neighbor who lives near that site of one of the shootings at 14th and Burnham tells TMJ4 News.
It's sad. It's real sad. They need more security around here. More policing around here.
4 people killed in separate incidents across the city with more than 24 people injured.
Authorities in Georgia laying the groundwork for former President Donald Trump to turn himself in later this week. Bond is set. The former president expected to surrender Thursday on charges related to his alleged efforts to overturn that state's 2020 election results. CBS News' Jared Hill.
A set of strict rules for former President Trump as he prepares to surrender to authorities in Fulton County, Georgia. Part of the agreement finalized Monday, a $200,000 bond and a promise that Trump shall make no direct or indirect threat against any co-defendant or witness. On Truth Social, the former president posted he'll be arrested Thursday for making, quote, a perfect phone call, referencing the call to Georgia's Secretary of State urging him to find votes.
Fulton County Sheriff there says that they will be following normal procedures when the former president turns himself in. That would include fingerprints and possibly a mugshot.
Coming up, would you like a side of fries with your salad?
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
Life is just getting started at Three Pillars, Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Located on 300 beautiful Lake Country acres, Three Pillars is taking reservations for new high-end active adult residences. With 4 styles to choose from and amenities like a supper club, fitness center, spa, pub, dog park, trails, and gardens galore. The choice is easy as you start your next adventure. Learn more at threepillars.org.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's not a gimmick. It's simply comprehensive, fee-only financial planning to get all your arrows pointed in the right direction. And although rate of return is important, there are many factors that are equally, if not more important. There's a strong belief among financial experts that tax planning is more important than rate of return. And at Financial Strategies, we strongly believe that is what sets us apart. As a result of our strategies, our clients have saved significantly on their taxes. They were prepared to pay the taxes and elated when we shared how they could avoid them. We want to grow your investment and protect it, and we've proven to be very good at doing just that. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial Strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers not just here but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers back at it at home. We've got the Twins in town. Brandon Snide looks ahead in sports at 6:15.
More questions over security guards after a shoplifter was shot and killed at a gas station in Milwaukee last week. Isaiah Allen, allegedly shot by a man hired as a security guard at Tetonia Gas and Food. Man was not officially licensed by the state to be a security guard. Now, Great Lakes security owner Gary Raymond tells TMJ4 News that gas stations are unlikely to get trained guards.
I turn down gas stations. They just seem to be a problem spot nowadays. I try not to take jobs where I'm worried that my guys are actually going to get injured.
Raymond says the risk of guarding gas stations is so high that his insurance won't even cover the work.
A food truck explosion in Sheboygan. 3 people recovering. They have severe burns after fire. An explosion in the food truck Monday happened at Volrath Park, which hosts food trucks on Mondays. When crews arrived, fire was already out, but 3 people were in need of life support.
If you hate veggies and you're looking to cut carbs, how about fries and a salad? Diners are increasingly choosing side orders over entrees, ABC's Danny New.
For one, it's more economical with the way food prices have skyrocketed recently. In fact, food industry consulting firm Technomic says that 15% of diners now order a side as their entree. But the other big reason is that you kind of get to earn your carbs. You know, you eat a little green, and thus you are allowed to reward yourself with a salty treat.
A salty treat.
Okay. This is profound. I've never heard of such an idea before. Health experts say the trend is a decent way to balance a treat with something more nutrient dense, I should say, like I said.
Suggesting this has been done before, since ever.
Amazing.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:08.
Hey, Eric Bilstead with WTMJ. Do you know the type of roofing company that I trust? One that would gladly tell me that I don't really need to replace my roof. I just need a roof tune-up. Tri-County Contracting does that. Tri-County Contracting offers roof tune-ups that include roof inspection, refastening, replacing some missing shingles. Is it affordable? Yes. Trust Tri-County Contracting's roof tune-up. Trust 45 years in Wisconsin. Visit TriCountyContractingWI.com.
What's that sound?
That's the sweet sound of you, small business owner, not having to worry about cybersecurity.
Sounds nice.
U.S. Cellular is offering cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99 per line.
Does that include protection from phishing?
Of course, unless you mean like the kind. Get cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica here as we come up on 610.
Yep, pretty quiet across the area right now. No major delays and no incidents up on the board. So far, so good. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. This morning, really nice outside, a little bit on the humid side. Partly cloudy, warm and humid today. A tiny chance of a shower up towards Sheboygan. High of 82 in Milwaukee. Inland, some upper 80s. For tonight, partly cloudy and muggy, a low of 71. Excessive heat warning kicks in tomorrow. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. A high of 100 in Milwaukee. Heat index of 110. For Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid, a high of 96, but turning cooler lakeside in the afternoon. Still going to squeeze out a heat index of 105. Friday, partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms, a high of 81. Saturday, mostly sunny. This sounds good, 75 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Why is it so hot in here?
Right now, Milwaukee at 69 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
11 minutes after 6. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Wisconsin's Morning News. American Airlines is suing a travel app that promises, right there, first thing you see when you log on, find flights the airlines don't want you to see. We're exposing loopholes in airfare pricing to save you money.
I'd like one ticket to Chicago.
The app, no baggage. The app or travel site is called Skiplagged. You'd heard of this before.
I saw one of the networks got all fired up about it.
What promises to be like an airline hack. You see this all the time in your social media feed. Here's a life hack. Here's a way to do this that you hadn't thought of before. It suggests that in some cases, booking a flight with a connection is cheaper and can save you money if you just get off the plane in the connecting city. So, for example, you want a direct flight from Milwaukee to Dallas. Making it up here, but let's just say that flight's $400, okay? Milwaukee to Dallas, that's where I want to go. Direct flight, $400. However, let's say a flight to Denver with a connection in Dallas is, for whatever reason, $350. So you book that flight, you arrive in Dallas, you get off the plane, and you just never board that next leg to Denver. That's the hack. And you're at your destination $50 cheaper in the example that I presented.
And that happens quite a bit, where apparently it'd be cheaper to fly to Denver through Dallas than just to Dallas.
So a number of major news outlets reporting on this lawsuit now filed in federal court this week. This is from The Guardian. According to American, Skiplagged employs unauthorized and deceptive ticketing practices, entices consumers to participate in those deceptive practices by promising savings and then doesn't deliver. So they're saying you don't always get the savings. American claims that I don't know if they're saying in every case, but in many cases, actually, you think you're saving money, but you're not. If you just booked through our website or some other licensed site, we could have, you're not saving money. Right. Plus, they don't like it.
I can't imagine why they don't like it.
Further from the lawsuit, it says it will give consumers access, it promises to give them access to some kind of secret loophole. However, many of the fares shown on Skiplagged are higher than what customers would pay if they purchased a ticket directly from American's website or through an official authorized American agent. My guess is there are savings to be had here, right? There's a reason that this thing has been around for a decade or more, and people are doing it.
Airlines are like, no. I can see why they don't like this, though, because obviously then you have empty flights. Then you have seats that aren't filled.
They'd much rather fill that seat with another paying customer, right? So maybe that's all there is behind it, or maybe there's a little of both, right? Maybe, in fact, there are some deceptive practices. All these hacks come with the caveats, right?
Well, it's amazing. You talk to anyone who's like works for the airline industry or does a lot of traveling, talk to them or care about it. I mean, the number of seats that you can jump on if you wait standby or whatever. I mean, it's very easy to get on a plane. I mean, you got to pay for it. if you want to get on a plane. There's almost always a seat or two that are available for somebody.
If your plans are fluid.
Yes,
that's
yes,
the thing.
correct.
Right?
Very
Everybody
good.
wants to know when they're going and when they're
This
back.
is true.
Right. So either way, Guardian also reports United and travel agency Orbitz both sued the founder of Skiplagged almost 10 years ago. Judge dismissed the United lawsuit. Orbitz settled. Either way, the airlines are onto this game and are now fighting back.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher.
Boy, you just never know when or where you're going to pop up. This time, it's my house.
Can I come in?
You're already standing in my living room.
Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
Oh, yeah. It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Heads up, here comes that wasp again. Incoming!
Shoo! You need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens. They fit inside the actual window and protect you from nature.
Okay, now that's just brilliant. Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
You got anything to drink around here?
Yeah, just go right ahead and make yourself at home, I guess.
Ooh, root beer.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, bundle and save. Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned. Doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Save now on heirloom quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture's Labor Day sale.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Football is back in Green Bay today. Practice getting underway up in Titletown this afternoon after a couple of off days for the Packers. Head coach Matt LaFleur saying Jordan Love is set to play in the team's final preseason game this weekend, but also made the case playing starters in the exhibition games goes beyond just the QB.
Him playing isn't just about him playing. It's about the other 10 guys out there just making sure we're a cohesive unit. So, because we do have a lot of young guys. So it's about getting Jaden Reed more reps and, our 2 young wideouts, our 2 young tight ends. And it's always about the collective unit going out there and trying to continue to build, a cohesiveness.
Packers set to hit the practice field at around noon this afternoon. That practice will be open to the public. From the NFL to the Diamond, where the Milwaukee Brewers are back home looking to keep pace in the NL Central Division. Milwaukee will welcome in the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins to begin a 2-game series in the Brew City. Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minert joined us here on Wisconsin's Morning News on Monday morning to preview what to expect from that team from Minnesota.
They're in first place in the American League Central and that division. It's been an interesting one. It's been similar to the National League Central, not the strongest division in the American League. Some of the teams at times have all been below 500, and it's kind of like who wants to take control of the division, like who wants to take first place. And I think for now, Minnesota's in that spot. So they'll be facing 2 right-handers in the series, and we'll see how it goes.
Vinny, I'm curious, after that road trip, 6-3 road trip, we had a stumble there with the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Your dad, how's he feeling entering the 2-game series here with the Minnesota Twins, Brewers, and with a 2.5-game
Joe
lead?
Vitrano will frequently text even during the show. Not that he's listening. He wakes up angry about the Brewers or something.
Got to get it out. Yeah.
So he was pretty disillusioned after that sweep at the hands of Los Angeles. He was all back in after we sweep the Rangers. So he's kind of on the seesaw. He does continue to point out the lack of offense. He was his text chain yesterday was he was real bent out of shape. He's looked at Brewers batting averages. No one over 300. Yelich at 287. Only 4 at 250 or better. DH, first base, awful. This is his problem with the designated hitter position. He goes, 50% of the job is hitter. Says it in the name.
Brewers looking for an analytical department. We got Joe Vitrano leading the cause.
He's available. He has nothing else to do.
Hit over 300. Brewers Twins, first pitch is set for 7:10. Our coverage will get you ready here at 6 p.m. on WTMJ with our Brewers warm-up.
6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape. Ronna McDaniel, she is the chair of the Republican National Committee.
The American public really wants to see what Republicans are putting forward and what our plan is to turn the tide.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620 and get a link sent directly to you. It's the countdown to the RNC podcast, only here on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for LAK Group. At LAK, it's their mission to help people discover everything they're capable of. They help companies find more profitable futures by showing their people how to be better leaders. And they've got a proven leadership development track record. LAK Group believes that when people are more accomplished, when they're more focused and more productive, the possibilities are infinite. Discover how LAK can help you or your company. I've worked with them before in the nonprofit sector. They've come in and worked with staff, and they can do that for your company, educating people on leadership, whatever type of training you're looking for. These are the guys that you want to do it. You don't want to do that in-house. That's not your area of expertise. It is theirs. This is LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-577-0892.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-577-0892. That's 800-577-0892.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica here on the traffic at 621.
It is still clear, Vince. We're looking really good across the entire area. No major delays. We do have one broken down vehicle in Waukesha County. This is on the Highway SS on-ramp to 94 eastbound. Looks like we've got a disabled vehicle there. It might be causing a little bit of a hiccup. If you happen to see something, though, that you think we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Rediscover the road at Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of discovery. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wednesday and Thursday are your super hot days this week. Partly cloudy, warm, bit on the humid side today with a slight chance of showers and a high of 82 degrees. Partly cloudy, not getting much cooling overnight. Low temperature down to 71 and muggy conditions. And then for Wednesday,
it's about 110 degrees in this room.
It's going to feel like it. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. High of 100. That's the air temperature. Heat index up to 110 degrees.
Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
Mostly sunny, hot and humid on Thursday, high of 96, turning cooler at Lakeside. Again, that heat index high of 105 degrees. Friday, then, we cool off. Partly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 81. Looking ahead to the weekend, mostly sunny on Saturday and a cool high of 75 degrees. Right now, 69 in Milwaukee. 6:22 this Tuesday morning, Wisconsin's Morning News. So the debate stage is set for tomorrow night in Milwaukee. First GOP presidential debate at Fiserv Forum. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. our time. It's on Fox News. You've been talking about this. If folks think they're going to be able to see the debate.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of expectation that you're just going to pop on any station and watch it like you would a presidential debate, or you hear it on any radio station. You won't. It's Fox News.
Air exclusively on Fox News. If you don't have it, you'll have to wait for the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any streaming, like free streaming options either. So it's Fox News or bust if you want to actually watch it live. The debate will be co-moderated by Fox News anchors Brett Baier and Martha McCallum.
Their picture is plastered on the side of Fiserv Forum right now.
I guess Fox rented the place, or the RNC did, so there you go.
Here they are.
Former President and GOP frontrunner Donald Trump will not participate. He announced that decision over this weekend. Who are the 8 who have qualified and will attend? North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador and Governor of South Carolina, or former Governor of South Carolina Nikki Haley, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, former Vice President Mike Pence, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, and Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. So that's your debate. The qualifications, according to the RNC, they had imposed a 9 p.m. deadline for candidates yesterday to have accumulated at least 40,000 donors and hit a 1% polling margin in a certain number of qualifying national and state polls. So that's how they figured it out. There's some grumbling down at the bottom of, well, we think we qualified or we didn't. Here's your 8.
I'm a little surprised now, looking back at it, that Trump isn't going to show up. He's going to turn himself in Georgia on Thursday. He's doing them a huge service by not being there tomorrow, I think. That takes a lot of the oxygen back into the room. It gives everyone an opportunity. All you need is one or two of these candidates to really show themselves, and then who knows? They get talked about a little bit and then get compared to him, and depending on how everything goes with his Georgia situation, who knows?
I think without him there, what it presents is an opportunity for people who choose to tune in to this. Those who are devoted to President Trump are forever devoted to him. They're locked in, right? For anybody else who watches the debate, I think what they're looking for primarily is viability. Nobody wants to pull the lever for a loser. So which one or several of these candidates appears presidential, appears like a person who can win the general election?
So you are going to be there tonight, right? You're going to Pfizer
I've been invited.
Yes? All right. What does that mean?
So Brett Baier is doing a preview show tonight, 5 to 6 p.m. on Fox, and they reached out to the station, and I imagine a number of other local outlets. They're looking for local reporters, commentators to provide sort of a local perspective in his preview show as they look ahead to the debate tomorrow night.
Have you prepped?
Have I done like debate prep? I don't know. What do you think you will ask me? Okay, you're Brett Baier right now. You've got local Hanyak Vince Vitrano here, host of Wisconsin's Morning News.
Vince, what do you think Republicans in the state of Wisconsin are looking for in a candidate?
Okay, what I just said, viability, number one. Right? Is that a good answer?
Vince,
that's a good answer.
How purple is the state of Wisconsin?
I think that's an interesting question. Here, I'll give you a hot take. I hope he asks it. We are not the battleground state that we are purported to be. I think we have tight elections here, but at least when you're talking about presidential elections, look back over the last 3 decades, one time in 3 decades, it went for the GOP nominee. That was President Trump in 2016 under very tight circumstances. He didn't do it again. Virtually every statewide elected official is a Democrat right now. I don't think the state's as purple as it's made out to be when you look at statewide elections.
Ooh, hot take.
You and Pancake going to prep me more later?
Absolutely.
5 o'clock tonight on Fox if you want to check it out. News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average down again about 37 points to 34,464. The NASDAQ actually climbed more than 200 points to 13,498. S&P 500 was up as well, about 30 points to 4,400. For a deeper dive of the markets, listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWAT podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
This is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses, here to tell you about Built Right's Labor Day sale, including in-stock items and special orders. Look, it's all about your comfort, your style, and your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 95 years strong. Built Right always saves you money. The 3rd and 4th generation family members are on hand working in the store along with their amazing team with over 400 years of experience. Thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses, and special orders are faster in 2023. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses for everyone from petite to plus size. USA made, small scale, Amish made, real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services too. Built Right voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showings, the months it takes. But there's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will buy your home today completely as is. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, putting the I Can in American. This is the Sussex Hamilton High School a cappella choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose hot stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rushed by, the bells bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and home of the brave?
Crews continue working to dig roads, buildings, and people out of the mud across the Southwest, courtesy of Tropical Storm Hillary. It was the first tropical storm to hit Southern California in 84 years and could still cause severe flooding and mudslides in some areas. President Biden visiting Maui as the island recovers from those wildfires that left more than 100 people dead and more than 800 still missing. Kahimona Brummel among the community organizers who attended the gathering with the president.
His words will be hollow unless there is action behind it. So when he says, I'm behind you, Washington is behind you, the country is behind you, we all hope that those words come true.
Former President Donald Trump announcing on Truth Social that he will turn himself in to Fulton County, Georgia authorities on Thursday in the election tampering case there. His bail set at $200,000. American Airlines pilots ratifying a new contract that will see them receive 41% pay increases and bonuses over 4 years. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:31, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Tomorrow's the big day, and for organizers, the Republican Debate Wednesday in Milwaukee will serve as a preview for the Republican National Convention in the city next year.
Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she's not involved in politics at all, but
the Host Committee really acts as the producer, and the most important thing a producer can do in Hollywood is raise the money and sign the contracts to put on the show. And the RNC and its Committee on Arrangements, so Chairwoman McDaniel's role is to put on that convention, and they control everything within the Fiserv Forum.
Prange says she's excited for first the debate, then the RNC to showcase Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, when it comes to the candidates on stage, political strategist Stephen Olakara tells TMJ4 News any candidate that makes the debate has a chance to make an impression tomorrow.
It is important for candidates to draw a contrast, and that's not going to happen by just playing things safe. You got to take some risks, and you got to draw a contrast, ideally on the policy with other candidates.
The debate isn't the only political event happening in the city this week. The conservative group Moms for Liberty, has officially moved away from hosting an event with presidential candidates. And the Journal Sentinel now reporting the group will instead host a talk with Republican Senator Ron Johnson at the Pfister Hotel. Now, a spokesperson for Marcus Corp, which owns the Pfister, has not confirmed that it is hosting the event. The Milwaukee Teachers Educators Association has called for all local venues to refuse hosting Moms for Liberty. An agent with the state's Department of Justice is going to trial, accused of unlawfully shooting a suspect during an arrest in Madison last February. DCI agent Mark Wagner charged with endangering the public when he fired on a suspect as part of an arrest operation involving multiple agencies. Wagner will stand trial on those charges next March. He was part of a multi-agency effort to arrest Quadron Wilson, who was wanted on drug charges. Wagner believed Wilson was shooting at him during the incident, and so he fired back. And with an excessive heat warning setting its sights on Wisconsin tomorrow, it'll be more than just the human body that'll be affected.
It's another heat wave, and the Wisconsin DOT is once again warning drivers to keep an eye out for the dreaded pavement buckling. When really hot conditions occur, pavement slabs can expand and push against one another, causing the pavement to buckle and make bumps, dips, or ridges. Suggestions for drivers? Slow it down. Pay close attention to the pavement in front of your car and make sure to watch for the repair crews that will be out there taking care of the buckling. Oh, and put the phone down. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Your complete 5-day forecast, complete with the lookout for what temperatures you can expect later this week, will be coming up in about 5 minutes. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
At Sendik's, great taste isn't expensive. Premium frozen cod loins are just $5.99 per pound all this week. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, those airline close calls are happening far more frequently than you thought.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security Decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Packers just days away from their final preseason game at Lambeau Field. Brandon Snide looks ahead at 6:45.
The number of near misses on commercial airliners may be far more common than travelers realize. I asked you earlier, and you were actually really close, Vince, so I'll pose the question to Debbie. Debbie, how many close calls, like plane almost hitting another plane in the air, do you think were reported last year?
In the entire country?
According to the New York Times, yeah.
Probably a couple thousand.
Ooh, not that many. 300.
We're much safer than that.
Okay, good.
300.
Yes.
A report in June found that 20 of the 26 critical air traffic control facilities were staffed below the minimum threshold. So they don't have enough controllers. They're working mandatory overtime, 6-day work weeks.
One big issue, the mandatory retirement age of 56 for air traffic controllers. Responding to the New York Times report, the FAA told ABC News the U.S. aviation system is the safest in the world, but one close call is too many. adding if there is a shortage of controllers for a shift, we slow traffic to match the staffing level.
ABC's Morgan Norwood. Yeah, so they don't have enough workers, and this is going to be an issue all the time because you're trying to find people that can do these jobs.
Almost all of these close calls have been caused by human errors, either by controllers or by pilots. Part of this is the system is still trying to get back up to speed after COVID.
Yeah, so that's Steve Ganyard. He's an analyst with ABC doing the flight stuff.
I'd be willing to look at that retirement date, bump it up to 58 if that helps or whatever.
Especially nowadays.
Right. A 57-year-old, 1 year past the mandatory retirement date, staffing something has got to be better than somebody working 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts, things like that. Like,
let's fix it.
Right. Safer is better. And they're in a job where you can't make a mistake.
Yeah, you cannot make a mistake.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
Hello, I'm Kelly Burris, an attorney with the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, if you must move from your home, be sure to at least inventory your important personal property. An easy way is to record video with your cell phone and narrate the walkthrough. Number 2, don't be lured into a confrontation or an argument. Walk away. Don't hand your wife an opportunity for an order of protection. And number 3, always take time to prepare for hearings and depositions. Insist on a prep meeting, whether your lawyer thinks you need it or not. And finally, make sure that you've secured your private records, your email, and other accounts. If in doubt, set new passwords. Cordell & Cordell has been a partner men can count on for over 30 years. You can schedule an appointment on the phone by calling 866-DADS-LAW or by visiting us online at CordellCordell.com.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
For heirloom quality furniture and mattresses at affordable prices, shop the store-wide Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture, located in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee. Stop in today.
Checking in with Debbie here at 641.
All right. Well, things are moving along actually pretty well out there. No major delays around the area. We are pretty much at full freeway speeds and no incidents up on the board either. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy skies expected for today, warm and humid, a slight chance of a shower well north of Milwaukee, and a high temperature of 82 degrees. Inland gets up to around 88. For tonight, partly cloudy and muggy, a low of 71. Here comes the extreme heat for Wednesday. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. A record-setting high temperature of 100 degrees in Milwaukee, heat index of 110. Thursday, mostly sunny, still hot and humid, a high of 96, but turning cooler lakeside in the afternoon, heat index of 105. Friday, partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms 81, and Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 75 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
And the heat! My God, the heat!
69 degrees in Milwaukee.
How does it feel?
642 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bob Dylan coming to Milwaukee. Bob Dylan, Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour, coming to the Riverside Theater.
Now, you've seen him already, right?
I have. Let me see. I saw Dylan. It would have been 1988, I suppose, at Alpine Valley. My dad is a huge Bob Dylan guy.
Mm-hmm.
And for all of the years that I was a kid, like, that was Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. So I was going into high school, maybe it was summer before high school.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, my mom didn't want to go to the show. So my dad says, hey, you want to go to the Bob Dylan concert, son? And in a rare moment of clairvoyance for me, like I understood that was important for my dad, right? I did not want to go to the Bob Dylan show when I was in 8th grade, but I thought that was important to my dad, so I went. Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing
It spoke to you even at that age, huh?
Totally. And he played with G.E. Smith. Remember him from Saturday Night Live band?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was a very cut down show, like not a show, but it was Dylan, drums, 1 or 2 guitars. That was about it, and keys. And that was about it. Like, it wasn't a big old thing. And he crushed it. In fact, he was so good that my dad for many years didn't go see him again. He's like, that's about as good as I'm going to see him at this point. And I've never seen him since.
Now, do you think your dad would go to the Riverside to see him again?
I think he would.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan sort of come back around, and was a little bit more understandable these days, right?
Sure.
Doing a little more robust show. The other thing that stood out for me, though, is, we get these concert announcements all the time from Pabst Theater Group. And again, this show is at the Riverside, but Pabst Theater Group books for a number of venues, including the Riverside. And usually they include these long paragraphs about the artist, and this artist is this many platinums and yada, yada, yada.
Like a dope sheet.
On this tour, they've been doing this and that. This was Bob Dylan, Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour, 2 shows, Wednesday, October 11th, 8 p.m., Thursday, October 12th, 8 p.m., Riverside Theater. It gives the address. It tells you when tickets go on sale. That's it. There's nothing else.
What else do you need?
In the news release. Bob Dylan. So tickets do go on sale later this week, $59.79 and $129. BobDylan.com is where you can get them. 6:44, Brandon Snide's got sports coming up next.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers are back home tonight looking to keep pace in the NL Central Division. Milwaukee welcoming in the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins to begin a 2-game series in Milwaukee. The Brewers Twins first pitch is all set for 7:10. Wade Miley expected to get the start for the Brew Crew. The University of Michigan has imposed a 3-game suspension for head football coach Jim Harbaugh to begin the 2023 season. That stems from an alleged recruiting violation in 2020. And lastly, former Wisconsin Badger and All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor has been officially granted permission by the Indianapolis Colts to seek a trade following his dispute for a new contract.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brandon Snide.
I hope everybody is ready. It's coming, Packers fans. He has arrived. It is finally here. Football fans everywhere, prepare yourselves. The blueprint in Green Bay has struck once again. The next era of Green Bay Packer football has arrived, and yes, based on just 2 preseason games, grab your shades because the future, yet again in Titletown, is bright. Jordan Love began this offseason for the Packers, indeed facing more questions than answers. How would a former first-rounder fill the shoes of the eventual Hall of Famer? How will number 10 win over the Packer faithful? Can he lead this team to a Super Bowl, the playoffs? How about just a winning record? Some of those obviously remain unanswered, but for a chunk of those, we got our answers already this summer. There is no doubt about it. Jordan Love has won over the fan base. Number 10 jerseys filled Lambeau under the bright lights over the past weekend, and his performance in his first home game as a starter shined even even brighter than those new fancy scoreboards displayed at Lambeau Field. Love & Company began the game shaky. A botched snap led to a Patriots early score, but unlike years past, when the Packers get hit in the mouth, this time they didn't fold. They responded. It's an early sign of the times ahead, to me at least. Love isn't backing down, nor has he ever. He is poised under scrutiny. He is in command of the huddle and a leader both on and off the field. Without question, he looks to be built for this moment, a moment he has been waiting 3 years in the making for.
A Brewers game and a Vienna beef hot dog. Ah, the perfect recipe.
Wow. This is really good.
The only thing to make it better? Winning tickets to the Brewers game with Ticket Tuesdays on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Every Tuesday at 3:35, it's Ticket Tuesdays, presented by Vienna Beef, the official hot dog of the Brewers. Better than all the rest.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Install day is tomorrow, Eric. I've heard from my team at Pella. Wonderful. Yeah, obviously, I know I'm getting a really quality patio door installed in my house. So I've talked about that. It's got the rollback screen, which is really nice. It's got the built-in blinds. We're going to put a couple of windows on either side as well. So I'm really happy with what we came up with in terms of design. I know it's a great quality product. I know Pella stands behind all its products. But let me tell you about the service end. So I've been in contact with my team.
Yes. The Zoom call with all the logistics.
Yes, right.
Imagery.
So one of Gina Della, you hear Gina Della on our show all the time. Her son, Alex, is in charge of this particular install.
Okay.
So Alex's team has been in touch with me.
The project team.
Here's exactly when we're coming. Here's what you need to do. Everything work on your end. Respond. Make sure we're still all go. I knew a long time in advance when they were coming, so I'm super prepared. You know, that's the other part of the Pella Windows and Doors install is you get the team. These guys helped me design the project that I wanted, and now I know I'm going to get a great install because, you know, you can have a quality product if it's not installed right.
Nah.
That's no good, right? So I know I'm going to get a quality install. Love the experience so far. They're coming tomorrow. Can't wait to show you the before and after pictures of my space. If you want to get in on this, visit PellaWI.com today.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica. How are the roads look, Deb?
Well, we're starting to fill in a bit. We've got westbound 94 slowing down just a little bit from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, just through the Stadium interchange. Northbound on 41, your usual backups from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank. And southbound 43 starting to bunch up just a little bit just south of Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Partly cloudy, warm and humid today. Slight chance of showers to the north and a high of 82 degrees. Muggy tonight, low of 71. So not much cooling, and then we get hot. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. High of 100 degrees on Wednesday. Heat index will make it feel like 110. Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid. High of 96 degrees. It will finally start to turn cooler lakeside.
Why is it so hot in here? Ah!
Heat index of 105 on Thursday. Then we cool off. Partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 81. Saturday's high, mostly sunny and 75 degrees. Right now it's 69 in Milwaukee. At 6:52 this Tuesday morning, Wisconsin's Morning News, an update on the kiss heard round the sports world. Celebrating with his victorious Spanish women's soccer team in the immediate aftermath of their World Cup win, Spanish Soccer Federation Chief Luis Rubiales, in full celebratory embrace of one of his players, Jennifer Hermoso, grabbed her kind of like by the back of the head and planted a full-mouth kiss on her. It sparked immediate outrage, Rubiales first responding with kind of a shrug. In an interview, here was the quote that you had yesterday, Eric. "We shouldn't pay attention to idiots and stupid people," claiming the kiss was a peck between two friends celebrating something. Rubiales later backpedaling amid continued and increased criticism, quoted in the New York Times, "Probably I made a mistake." We bring in two-time sports writer of the year for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Lori Nickel, this morning. So, Lori, Jenny Hermoso herself is said to have told teammates she didn't like it. She hasn't said a lot since. Much ado about nothing here, or an important conversation for us to have as we consider female athletes and their place in the world?
Actually, I think another statement was released by the Federation, supposedly from her, or something to say that, well, we're really good friends, we have a great relationship, everything's fine, kind of a thing. And then he's made another statement, saying, well, I have to be more careful because of my position. So it's weird. I think the thing that disappoints me the most is my own reaction, because when I first saw it, I wasn't that shocked or disgusted. In my immediate reaction, and that's crazy. Do I think this is normal? But, we've seen stuff like this and heard of this in sports. What wasn't normal is that it was so public, but women have been dealing with this forever, and this is exactly why we have the Me Too movement. If you find that refreshing or if you find that cringy, let me tell you, somebody in that position cannot abuse his power and position and just plant a kiss on any player he wants who just won the World Cup. And by the way, she's the one who won the World Cup, not him. She's the one who did all the work. So I think the only good thing about this is that it was brought to light, and that we can show another example of what's totally unacceptable.
In sports, at least on the men's side of thing, there's been physicality and affection forever, whether it's hand slapping or butt slapping, that type of thing. What if it had been a butt slap?
Oh, no, no, not at all, not at all
just
acceptable.
Asking.
Yeah.
Just asking.
Eric's advocating for the butt. He wants more of that.
I mean, could you imagine, after a great radio show today that I just went up to you and it's like, great job, and slapped you on the butt? Like that's just totally inappropriate, and I don't care if it's sports or not. And I've seen interactions not quite this blatant, but I've seen reporters run up to players and hug them, after winning certain things in a locker room and all that. No, you're not, that's not cool at all. And for me, it's both genders. Like, if you got to respect somebody's space, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, respect their space and be professional about it. I know that there's probably some cultural discussions here. I know I've seen, when I've been in Europe, I've seen different kinds of affectionate embraces and things like that. But that, again, we're looking at somebody who's an employee and kind of an employer type situation. And we are learning now, thank goodness, with the current generation, teaching even my older generation that this stuff is not okay. Respect the space and don't do that kind of stuff. Don't you dare slap somebody on the behind for anything.
Let me ask you this, Lori, and you did indicate that we've heard a little bit more from Jenny Hermoso herself. Does it matter what she thought of it? And I go back to, we all do in the workplace, sexual harassment training. And one of the first rules that they talk to you about, if you're talking to someone in a certain way, if perhaps you're complimentary or whatever that is, one of the first rules they say is this type of communication wanted by that other individual? Is he or she okay with it? And if she were to come out and say, like, we're good friends and it was all good, does that change what happened in a public view where not everybody knows the backstory?
I think that's a great question, and that's what gets murky. To me, that the only opinion that matters is her opinion in this case. But do I trust that she's truly able to express to us now how she really feels, right? Or is she coerced in some way to say, and again, it's learned behavior. Was she taught all this time for 10 years, if a male gives you positive attention, you have to respond positively. Like,
yeah, hey, you don't want to make this a big deal, do you?
Right. And I've been told that a million times and haven't, raised a stir. So I think it's a great learning opportunity, but in the end, ultimately, I only care how she felt about that situation, and that she has to go back, if she chooses to explain the context here and all that. And again, there's cultural context, there's history between the two of them. And because Spain has such a horrible reputation with their soccer team and how they treat their women, the precedent is there to not trust them at all and to be leery and suspicious about how they treat their female athletes, about equality, about injuries, about other things. Christine Brennan has a great column in USA Today talking about this president and some of his behavior that was deplorable, even, in the few minutes after winning the World Cup. So, there's so many layers to something like this. But in the end, if I was like a judge, I would only want to hear what she had to say and try to believe her viewpoint on it.
Two-time Sports Writer of the Year, Lori Nickel. Really great to have your perspective on this, Lori. Appreciate it. Have a great week.
Did you ever get kissed in the mouth when you won one of those Sports Writers of the Year?
Oh,
over there in the newsroom. I don't want to name names.
But groping and all the other stuff, everything but that. So, and it's funny in a way, but in a way, the younger me put up with so much garbage now that I wouldn't, if I told you guys, you would be shocked. So,
Lori.
I will stand up for any young woman I see in this business. I will put everything on the line for her and ask for forgiveness later. I would go to bat and battle for her because of the crap I endured in my 20s and 30s. And so, yeah, and it's not just from the athletes and the coaches. It's from people in our own industry too. So, yeah, got to be careful.
Lori Nickel, thanks so much, Lori. Appreciate the perspective this morning.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Milwaukee Business Headlines are up next. They're sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
Milwaukee County put its final available block of Park East redevelopment land back on the market and is seeking offers from companies by October 6th. Located east of the river, that site has been considered for apartments and a hotel in recent years. The Cheel restaurant that burned down in Thiensville in 2020 is preparing for a big reopening in fall and is hiring employees. Weiss Development's proposal to build a children's Wisconsin clinic on Milwaukee's northwest side passed a first hurdle on Monday. The City Plan Commission endorsed the project. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice, they all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Brookfield GMC has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, all bundled under the James Managed Print Services program. Brookfield GMC controller Jay Doyle.
They can track where the printer supplies are, the toner supply is getting down or low, and then they'll ship us a new toner.
And there's more. James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services also includes parts and service.
Exactly, yes. We had a fuser go out in one of our printers, and they came out and replaced that right away. So repair and our supplies are maintained.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. All your document output devices, service, supplies, and parts wrapped up in one low monthly invoice. Now that's a good value.
It's a big value because of all the services.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
time to see double, as it takes two to tango.
Weaver, a high fly ball, deep center field. Going back is Nimmo. At the track, at the wall, gone! Joey Weaver.
The Twins come to Milwaukee for a set of games in the Brew City. Our Brewers Twins coverage gets underway right here on WTMJ beginning at 6 p.m. tonight. We are your home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:03, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, August 22nd. Our top story, the eyes of the political world on Milwaukee.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Another young person dead from gun violence.
I'm Brandon Snide. Packers choosing cohesiveness over worries.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, a bit slow right past Capitol Drive. It's just that one chunk right there. A little bit heavy through the stadium interchange on westbound 94. We do also have a little bit of a backup heading out in Waukesha County, basically just before Elm Grove Road to about Sunny Slope. We've got northbound 41 slowing down from Wisconsin Avenue up to Swan Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Not going to heat up big time until tomorrow. Actually pretty nice today, partly cloudy. Will be a bit on the humid side. Slight chance of showers and a high of 82 degrees, partly cloudy. Not much for low temperature tonight, 71 degrees, so staying warm and muggy. Right now, we're at 69 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, with the GOP presidential primary debate a day away now, Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee hard at work.
Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News their job is wrangling the logistics for these big events.
We work very closely with Visit Milwaukee, and we also work very closely with the Republican National Committee's Committee on Arrangements.
Prange's already looking ahead to next year when the committee will help house all the delegates at the Republican National Convention.
Every official hotel room for the convention is actually contracted in Wisconsin, and so we're keeping all those visitors coming into the state next summer in Wisconsin.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A 17-year-old girl is dead following a shooting late Monday in Milwaukee. It happened on the far northwest side near 96 and Bradley. Police searching for suspects still this morning. Nearly 20 children have died by homicides in the city this year.
The hottest air of the summer has its sights set on Wisconsin. Excessive heat warning set to take effect for all of our area starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow, with forecasted real temperatures likely close to 100 degrees. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky says everybody should be thinking about limiting outdoor activities, particularly those who work outside.
I also have big concerns for construction workers that are going to be outside all day tomorrow. You have to limit your activity. If you have employees that are going to be outside, please take it easy on them.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:10.
High heat and humidity set to blanket the area, and the roads are going to feel the brunt of it as well.
Here come the triple digits. At least we have the AC to help us try and stay cool. Unfortunately, the roads don't have that luxury. To put it simply, the pavement expands in the heat, and when the material has nowhere to go, it buckles, leaving behind ridges, cracks, and even huge potholes. We just have to remember to look a little bit further down the road and keep our speeds in check so we aren't caught off guard. And if you do happen to see a pothole or buckle that seems extra nasty, you can always go to the local municipality to report it. Milwaukee even has an online service request form you can fill out. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
An agent with the state DOJ is going to trial accused of unlawfully shooting a suspect during an arrest in Madison last February.
DCI agent Mark Wagner is charged with endangering the public when he fired on a suspect as part of an arrest operation involving multiple agencies. He will stand trial on those charges next March. He was part of an effort to arrest Quadrin Wilson, who was wanted on drug charges. Wagner was one of the first people to approach Wilson's car after law enforcement boxed it in. He's accused of firing into the car carelessly. WISC-TV reports Wagner's defense team says he used deadly force in the way that's common for law enforcement across Wisconsin. Wagner believed Wilson was shooting at him, so he fired back. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a song about the American worker shooting to the top of the charts.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Where are we putting that money, and why are we putting it there? At Financial Strategies, you'll get answers to those questions to understand our approach. And the answers are going to be based on what we've learned about you. We're very engaged with our clients so that what we do for them fits their particular needs. But there are other things that we do that are equally important to the investment management portion of our services. I can't express how important it is to control the things you can control. At the end of the day, most investment managers will end up yielding similar overall returns. But knowing how to manage them wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally of course, well, that's what I truly believe sets us apart. This is Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Colliers, Wisconsin is in the business of finding companies the right home. Hi, I'm Lyle Landowski, President and CEO of Colliers, Wisconsin. When it came to our own space, we decided downtown Milwaukee was the place to be. Downtown has the amenities, activity, and access to talent that has propelled our growth for the last 10 years. We're proud to call downtown Milwaukee home and welcome the opportunity to help you become our neighbor. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Hey, parents and grandparents with school out, take your kids and grandkids to the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford and Oshkosh for super affordable fun in the $2 million game room. Kids menu that starts at just $3.99. It's big food. It's big fun. It's MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
Brewers back at it tonight at American Family Field. We got the Twins in town. Brandon Snide looks ahead at 7:15.
A viral song by a little-known performer has debuted at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bull pay.
Just 2 weeks after it was uploaded to YouTube, Oliver Anthony Music's song about the struggle of the working class man has topped hits by megastars like Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen, and Olivia Rodrigo. Rich Men North of Richmond's Secret to Success, the lyrics about being kept in place by inflation, high taxes, and elites caught fire with conservative commentators who flagged it as an authentic expression of working class struggle. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I'd heard this song. How did I hear this song? I'm like the least hip person in America.
Really? I never heard that one.
Maybe I heard it. Maybe it was set to something else or saw it on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
It was good?
It's a good song, yeah. Resonates with a lot of people. 7:10 on Wisconsin Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Your home is your biggest investment, and you live in it. So when you invest in it, you want the best. The best windows, the best roofing, the best deck. Where do you look? Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited, you ask? For windows, roofs, and decks? Yes. Siding Unlimited is the best installer of windows, roofs, and decks. They also are the best with siding. Prove it, you demand. Good point. Well, Siding Unlimited has the manufacturer's awards and customer satisfaction history to prove it. In fact, Pella Window named Siding Unlimited their Platinum Elite Contractor of the Year in the entire country 3 years in a row. What's so great about Siding Unlimited? Well, honest pricing, devoted American craftsmen, integrity. You want the best, and Siding Unlimited is it. Windows, roofs, decks, and Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Visit Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at their September 13th Ice Cream Social and Open House. RSVP or schedule a tour at harwoodplace.org.
11 minutes after 7, what's happening on the roads, Deb?
Well, things slowing down a little bit on 43 southbound, basically from Capitol Drive all the way down past Locust on and off those brakes. Right now, Brown Deer Road to downtown, you're looking at about a 13-minute ride, so a couple of extra minutes. Otherwise, everything else seems to be moving along pretty well, not seeing any other incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy skies expected for today. A nice start out there this morning. It is a little bit on the humid side. A high of 82 in Milwaukee. Inland gets up to 88. There is a slight chance of a shower well north of Milwaukee. For tonight, partly cloudy and muggy, a low of 71. Excessive heat warning kicks in for Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies. A high of 100 degrees in Milwaukee. That would break the record. Heat index of 110. Dangerously hot. Take it seriously. For Thursday, mostly sunny, still hot and humid. A high of 96, turning cooler cooler lakeside in the afternoon. Heat index of 105. Chance of storms on Friday, 81. Saturday looks great, mostly sunny and 75. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
What, is it hot?
It's hot. Right now, 70 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky will join us live at 7:20 this morning. We'll break down that. He was at like 98, 99 the last couple of days. I told you he'd bump it up to 100.
Yep, it's 100 now. So 3 days after the election in 2020, dozens of CEOs from the nation's largest companies logged into a Zoom call aiming to prevent the collapse of American democracy. Associated Press and ABC have this story. The night before, then President Donald Trump had falsely declared victory in an address at the White House, pointing to a count of what he called legal votes. The CEOs were horrified, says a Yale University professor who helped convene the meeting. They all got together in a hastily assembled Zoom call. They showed up early on that call, some in pajamas, and most expressing grave concerns. It reminds me of like the World Security Council, like in the Avengers, when they were all in these dark Zoom call monitors talking to the Nick Fury.
You're dealing with forces you can't control.
That's what they were worried about. There was recognition that if Trump pulled it off, it would turn the U.S. into something other than the country it was, that it would be that easy to change an election. So all of these CEOs apparently got together and were like, hey, we got to figure something out here to make sure that this can't actually happen this way, that someone could have the power to do that.
Who has all their numbers? Who put this all together?
The Business Roundtable, a trade association representing 200 top CEOs, including J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon and the Walmart CEO, released a statement the next day affirming the outcome of the election. So then they released another bulletin condemning the January 6th, but basically the CEOs were just worried about the instability. I mean, really, that's it. It's not good for business, right, to have the instability. So they came together and were like, hey, look, what can we do to help settle this down just so we know that something can't be flipped like that so easily?
Without
You're running
regard,
the world's greatest covert security network, and you're going to leave the fate of the human race to a handful of freaks.
I'm not leaving anything to anyone. We need a response team.
Oh, yes. I wonder if all the Zoom calls had the really dark Zoom monitors, like where you
bet they
can
did.
only kind of see their faces, you know?
You said someone were in their pajamas.
Yes.
Depending on what time zone they were in or whatever.
Yeah, across the whole world.
I mean, and without regard to the legitimacy of their concerns, and people will debate that or whatever, just take that aside. A lot of folks already believe corporations run the country, not politicians. So this only lends itself to that conspiracy theory as well. See, that's right up your alley.
Yes, I like that.
7:15, Brandon Snide has sports coming up next. It's brought to you by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, your destination dealer.
You're dealing with forces you can't control.
It's still summer in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc has you covered for fun in the sun. From bike nights to Saturday rides, or maybe just some retail therapy like a new motorcycle, or just a little something for yourself, there's always something going on. Check out Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at wishd.com and like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Don't just see the world. Feel it right here, right now. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
It's WTMJ's Jeff Wagner for the Senior Real Estate Specialists at Bruce's team. If you've been holding off on selling your home or your parents' home to downsize, contact Senior Real Estate Specialists Bruce and Jean Nimovitz. You should enjoy the lifestyle you deserve. Learn how their team will help guide you every step of the way. Join me at their free in-person seminar September 12th at the Florian in Germantown. Doors open at 8:30 a.m., taking seniors from overwhelmed to I can do this. Plus, get critical information from local senior community representatives. Register at brucesteam.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave. Don't treat yourself like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers are back home looking to keep pace in the NL Central Division, where they currently lead the Cubs by 2.5 games. Milwaukee will welcome in the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins to begin a 2-game series in the Brewers City. Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minert joined us here on Wisconsin's Morning News Monday morning to preview what to expect from that team from Minnesota.
They're in first place in the American League Central, and that division, it's been an interesting one. It's been similar to the National League Central, not the strongest division in the American League. Some of the teams at times have all been below 500, and it's kind of like who wants to take control of the division, like who wants to take first place. And I think for now, Minnesota's in that spot, so they'll be facing two right-handers in the series, and we'll see how it goes.
Brewers Twins first pitch is set for 7 p.m. tonight. Our coverage will get you ready beginning at 6 p.m. with Brewers warm-up. To college football, where the University of Michigan has self-imposed a 3-game suspension for head football coach Jim Harbaugh to begin the 2023 season. This is stemming from alleged recruiting violations in 2020. ESPN's Pete Thamel has more.
We still need to play out the NCAA process, and that Committee on Infractions is notoriously a long and tortured process, so we won't get a final decision from the NCAA until I would guess months. I would say at least 6 or 7 months before that process goes through.
Harbaugh faces a level 1 violation, which would be for not cooperating with or misleading NCAA investigators about those alleged violations. The head coach has declined to comment about the ongoing investigation. And lastly, football back in Green Bay today. Practice getting underway up in Titletown this afternoon after a couple of off days for the Pack. Head coach Matt LaFleur expects Jordan Love to play in the team's final preseason game this weekend, but also makes the case playing more starters is good for his team.
You know, him playing isn't just about him playing. It's about the other 10 guys out there just making sure we're a cohesive unit. So, because we do have a lot of young guys, so it's about getting Jaden Reed more reps, and you know, our 2 young wideouts, our 2 young tight ends, and it's always about the collective unit going out there and trying to continue to build, you know, a cohesiveness.
Eric, you're heading to the game this weekend. That sounds like good news for you and your family. You get to see some starters up in Green Bay.
You're going to see a lot of cohesiveness out there.
Yeah, it's kind of hoping for that.
Yeah. Packers set to hit the practice field. They'll begin around noon later today.
Everybody likes cohesiveness.
You got to.
7:20, we've got Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky live with us next.
You know, we like W's too.
No, he's not going to put you in the lineup. But luckily, this is the closest you can get to the skipper himself.
I mean, Robin is the all-time Brewer for sure.
Greg Council, every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45.
You know, Willie is, I think a player that, is capable of taking down some of the things that Robin has done.
This is Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Cohesiveness is great, even when you're talking about your roof. Eric Bilstead here, Wisconsin's Morning News, and I like the roofing company that has cohesiveness. I also like the roofing company that makes sure that your roof is cohesive. I'm talking about Tri-County Contracting. So this is the best part. They knew that I didn't need a brand new roof, but Tri-County Contracting was able to give me a worry-free roof tune-up. $650. Doesn't matter the size of the house. They'll get on your roof and they'll make sure that it is good to go. They'll replace what needs to be replaced. They'll let you know about things that need to be fixed. And it's Tri-County Contracting that does it. They're worry-free roof tune-up. They've been doing it for 45 years in Wisconsin. Trust your roof once again with the ones that can do it the best. Tri-County Contracting. The website is TriCountyContractingWI.com. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368. This is Chief Home Buying Strategist Brian Wickert. A lot of home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting their pre-approval and financing their new home. That's exactly what Jordan and Michelle did, and it wasn't until after they wrote their 5th losing offer that they took their agent's advice and called Accunet for a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and offer strategy consultation. Every time you write an offer and lose, it's an emotional punch to the gut because you've already imagined having Thanksgiving dinner at that house. We're helping home shoppers and their agents write stronger, more convincing offers every day with powerful tools and strategies that really work. If you don't mind writing 5 losing offers, go ahead and get a flimsy generic pre-approval from your bank or credit union. But if you want the best shot at writing an offer that gets accepted, get a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, and I'll personally join in on your offer strategy consultation like I did for Jordan and Michelle, whose very next offer was a winner. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at CrestCadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at crestcadillac.com.
7:22. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie.
All right, still a little bit backed up along southbound 43. It's about a 16-minute ride to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. Most of that happening from about just north of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive to Locust. Otherwise, the rest of the system's actually looking pretty good. Volume's definitely picking up, though, on 94 eastbound, though. A couple pockets of heavy traffic heading through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Partly cloudy, warm, and humid today with a slight chance of showers and a high of 82 degrees. Not much cooling tonight. Low temperature is 71 and muggy. And then we get hot for Wednesday.
It's about 110 degrees in this room.
Our Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky.
Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
Live on the line with us this morning. I thought you'd like that.
Oh, that's perfect. Fantastic. And hey, and Trump was pretty spot on with that 110 there with the heat index
It's about
for tomorrow.
110 degrees in this room.
It's going to be. So you went with your high temp of 100 tomorrow. I told Eric we were going to do it. I'm like, Isnansky doesn't mess around with 99.
Yeah, right. You know, I had 98 yesterday. There's no in between. You got to go 100. You can't do 99, something that I've obviously carried over from longtime meteorologist here, John Milan, where he told me back in the day, I'm a college kid, and one of the things he always taught me, hey, no, I don't want to see 90. I don't want to see 89. I don't want to see 79. I don't want to see 69, because if you do that, that means you're just too chicken to go 100. So just do it.
So are we gonna hit it? Where would that have to be? Is that the airport temperature?
Yeah, airport temperature 100. I think, airport probably has the best chance of our official meters of reaching that, just with some of the urban heating that goes on. But I wouldn't be shocked if we had multiple spots hitting 100 tomorrow. This wasn't a leap by any means. Milan was a little voice in the back of my head here, but when I look at all of the data here, in order for me to go 100, I do have to feel pretty confident. And I do, because the models are all going 100 or close to it. We're going to have a very strong southwest breeze. We have history of the same air mass reaching triple-digit values. I think things are lining up for our first 100 here. And over a year, last one was 621 back in 22. And then before that, we didn't have a 100-degree temperature since 2012. So pretty rare.
Does this mean that the app was right all along?
I got that too. You know, I see where you're going with that. And you know what? The app did pin down a heat wave for sure. I mean, it did. But we're still not going to hit an actual temperature of 113, which would shatter the all-time record high here in Milwaukee. Now watch, I'll eat my words and we'll hit on. No, we're not going to hit 113. So I'll give the app some credit that it definitely, and most models do. And now these apps are basically off computer models. And these models are getting good at, just like a winter storm that we go, hey, you know what? This one we're going to have to watch a week from now. So, but as far as hitting the actual 113, no, that's not going to happen.
I know you got to do TV. Appreciate it, Niz.
Thank you, Niz.
Yeah, we're doing good, man. I hope you guys are all right. I'm going to hop in the studio here. But yes, tomorrow, check in again. It's going to be the hottest day of summer easily.
It's about 110 degrees in this room.
It's Storm Team 4. Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky live with us this morning.
And Trump will not be at the debate for sure now.
He could have said it.
He could have actually said it.
He could have said it right here in Milwaukee on
It's
the
about
debate
110
stage.
degrees in this room.
No, it's going to be considerably cooler inside Fiserv Forum, you would think. But, yeah, hot for all those folks. Man, I wish we could have had a nice, even today would have been fine a little bit on the humid side.
It is going to affect other things, by the way. I mean, the Brewers play a day game tomorrow. We got a lot of kids that have different sports or outside activities tomorrow and Thursday as well. That's going to start affecting
all the fall sports for kids, even youth sports still going on.
It is a heat warning.
Keep going? Yeah. Brandon said his kids, his football kids, they're moving practice inside.
Yeah.
Like they'll probably just do some working out and whatever. So wonder if more teams will follow suit. Niz is no alarmist, but he also did say, like, this, you do have to be concerned about this heat. It's going to wear on you.
It is the deadliest of all the weather elements.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was off about 37 points to 34,464. The NASDAQ was up about 1.5% in trading on Monday to 13,498. S&P 500 at 4,400. That was up 30 points on the day. For a deeper dive of the markets, Listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWAT podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-577-0892.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-577-0892. That's 800-577-0892.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Does your knee pain keep getting worse? How about that pain in your shoulder or hip or back? Well, don't let them tell you steroids and surgery are your only option. Take my advice now and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics can make that pain go away with all natural advanced regenerative medicine. They're helping people here in Milwaukee every day with these amazing natural treatments that restore and repair damaged joint tissue. It's like turning back the clock. Regenerative medicine uses concentrated healing agents from your own body to stimulate that damaged tissue in your joints so they can work like they're supposed to. And there's zero downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting medical breakthrough, and patients here are getting real lasting relief and saying no to surgery and drugs. If you have pain due to injury or arthritis, this is a remarkable option that you need to check out, and the consultation is free. Call QC Kinetics now at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
7:30, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, August 22nd. Your top story, the national political and heat spotlight sets its sights on Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound 43 is going to be a bit slow coming in from Bender Road all the way down past Locust. Eastbound 94 filling in from 92nd Street through to Holly Road. And northbound 4394 slow coming out of the Plainfield Curve up to the KK River. Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Sunny skies and 69 degrees.
Former President Donald Trump has revealed plans to turn himself in to Georgia authorities later this week. He and more than a dozen other people face felony charges for allegedly conspiring to overturn the presidential election loss in 2020. Parts of California and the Southwest are still digging out of the mud from Tropical Storm Hillary. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is in Cathedral City, California.
It is still a mess across Southern California, especially here in the Palm Springs area. Cathedral City really getting hit hard with flood and mud. It looks like a mud snowstorm came through here. We've seen several cars try to get through. Some get stuck. Some need help from their friends. And it's just difficult to get around this area.
The next big storm headed for the U.S. is Tropical Storm Harold in the Gulf of Mexico now, getting close to Corpus Christi, Texas. Maui residents grateful for President Biden's visit to the island. However, they say his words of support will ring hollow if they aren't followed up with commitments of federal dollars to help with cleanup from the fires that left more than 100 people dead. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, for the organizers of tomorrow's Republican debate, the event will serve as a preview for the Republican National Convention being held next year in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she's not involved in politics at all, but
the Host Committee really acts as the producer, and the most important thing a producer can do in Hollywood is raise the money and sign the contracts to put on the show. And the RNC and its Committee on Arrangements, so Chairwoman McDaniel's role is to put on that convention, and they control everything within the Fiserv Forum.
Prange says she's excited for first the debate, then the RNC to showcase Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, another debate will take place in Milwaukee this week. This one put on by a group focused on having civil discussions and keeping an open mind. The Braver Angels will host a debate this evening at Best Place Brewing on a number of issues. Organizer Amy Teutenberg tells TMJ4 News a Braver Angels debate seeks to make community members more aware of the validity of opposing views.
We don't just need to stand there and shout insults or demonize one another. You can actually have a conversation with the other side in a civil and peaceful way.
Registration for the debate will be closed 1 hour prior to the scheduled 7 p.m. start time. A 17-year-old girl is dead this morning following a shooting late Monday in Milwaukee. Police say it happened on the city's northwest side near 96th and Bradley. Police currently searching for suspects in the case. So far in 2023, at least 18 children have died by homicide in the city. A Wisconsin state senator pushing back against proposals to tear down a portion of I-794. Dewey Strabel of Saukville released a letter Monday in which he said the proposal appears to, quote, be a solution in search of a problem. Strabel also pointed out that any proposal to remove the section of freeway would need approval from the state legislature. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation presented several ideas for the corridor at public information meetings in Milwaukee and St. Francis last month, ranging from full removal to rebuilding old portions of the current highway. And the hottest air of the summer has its sights set on Wisconsin. An excessive heat warning will take effect for all of our areas starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow, with forecasted real field temperatures likely close to 100 degrees. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky says everyone needs to limit outdoor activities, even those whose job it is to be outside.
I also have big concerns for construction workers that are going to be outside all day tomorrow. You have to limit your activity. If you have employees that are going to be outside, please take it easy on them.
Your complete 5-day forecast coming up at 7:40. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:34.
Coming up, celebrating one of the world's most debated submerged monsters. That story next.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mine Chef restaurants are hiring bartenders, servers, food runners, bussers, and hostesses. Make real cash. All ages welcome. Inquire today. Start next week. Great jobs.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher.
Boy, you just never know when or where you're going to pop up. This time, it's my house.
Can I come in?
You're already standing in my living room.
Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
Oh, yeah. It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Heads up, here comes that wasp again. Incoming.
Shoo! You need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens. They fit inside the actual window and protect you from nature.
Okay, now that's just brilliant. Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
You got anything to drink around here?
Yeah, just go right ahead and make yourself at home, I guess.
Ooh, root beer.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, bundle and save. Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Home and auto insurance is getting expensive these days. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Insurance costs are rising rapidly. Both homeowners and auto insurance companies are dealing with frequent storms, inflation, and more claims than ever before. Buyers need to be mindful of what actions insurance companies are taking. Aggressively raising rates, in many cases by double digits, scaling back on coverages and raising policy deductibles. R&R Insurance works with over 20 A-rated insurance companies. Getting insurance companies to compete for your business on both coverage and price is what R&R Insurance does best.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
With 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge, R&R Insurance will build a strategy to make sure your family has the right protection and a competitive price. At R&R Insurance, we know home and auto insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell's our guest on Brewers 360, coming up at 7:45.
As if it hadn't already been cracked before and the investigation completed. But no, Loch Ness is going to be hot again.
I'm going to release the Kraken.
Yes.
Great usage.
So amateur sleuths from around the world are going to Loch Ness to again search for the Loch Ness Monster.
They're going to find Nessie?
Yeah, this time. Paul Nixon, the manager of the Loch Ness Center, tells CNN that about 100 volunteers will be looking out for signs of life on the banks of the loch itself, while about another 100 will survey the site remotely.
So remotely,
Why?
what? With like satellite cams or
Yeah,
what?
they're gonna and drones.
Look for
and
ripples in
different
the
things,
water?
Yes. So they're pushing for more volunteers to sign up. I didn't know this. Did you know that Loch Ness is the largest body of water in the British Isles? It's 22 miles in length, 750 feet deep. I didn't realize it was that deep.
That's deep for an inland lake.
So here's my favorite line. The center, which reopened earlier this year following a $2 million refurbishment project, sits on the site where they once maybe saw it once. So that's why they're doing this. They need people to come and see their renovations at the Loch Ness Museum. Yeah, no difference. They're still looking for the thing. There's nothing to suggest that there's anything there. They just want to have a party.
Maybe it's there. Why do you not... It's as much evidence that there is a Loch Ness Monster as there isn't?
Organizers say it is the biggest surface watch since the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau studied the loch in 1972, when volunteers were also on the lookout for the mythical beast, and of course never found it then.
This sounds like a great party to me, man. Let's break out the whiskey.
For
the
sure.
Scotch.
Well, that's a good call, Debbie. I like that idea.
So you don't think
this
they're going to
weekend-
find it?
No, I don't. I don't. I
Okay,
just
well,
think-
we'll report back to you.
Yeah, if they do or if they don't.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
I'm going to release the Kraken.
It was bound to happen. Over your career, investments came along for the ride. The first 401k, brokerage account, profit sharing, stock options, pension, another 401k, an insurance policy, an annuity. You get the picture. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. After all, we've seen, reviewed, dissected, discussed, and analyzed thousands of them. Some portfolios are like well-tended gardens and reflect diligence, patience, fortitude, and optimism. Others tell the story of being sold commission products that might not have been the best choice, maybe for the salesperson, but not for the investor. When the financial planning team at Annex reviews your portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions based on what's important, the retirement you desire. That's where the good stuff happens. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. That's AnnexWealth.com.
I'd been living with a snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Mothan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by big box healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
741, checking the roads with Debbie.
All right, things slowing down. 43 southbound from Good Hope Road, pretty much all the way down to almost Burleigh. So give yourself that extra time right now. Brown Deer Road to downtown is up to a 22-minute ride. That's going to take you an extra 11. We've also got eastbound 94 slowing down from the Zoo Interchange to Hawley Road. The westbound side's just a little bit heavy right out of the Stadium Interchange itself. And southbound 41 slowing down between Silver Spring and Center Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. This morning, really nice outside, a little bit on the humid side. Partly cloudy, warm and humid today. A tiny chance of a shower up towards Sheboygan. High of 82 in Milwaukee. Inland, some upper 80s. For tonight, partly cloudy and muggy, a low of 71. Excessive heat warning kicks in tomorrow. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. A high of 100 in Milwaukee. Heat index of 110. For Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid, a high of 96, but turning cooler lakeside in the afternoon. Still going to squeeze out a heat index of 105. Friday, partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms, a high of 81. Saturday, mostly sunny. This sounds good, 75 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot.
70 degrees right now in Milwaukee. First Republican presidential primary debate right here in Milwaukee. It's tomorrow night, and the best place to get immediate analysis and reaction is on our Decision Wisconsin post-debate show. In fact, a lot of folks aren't going to be able to watch the debate unless you have Fox News. You're not going to be able to see the debate live, so you want to listen for the highlights immediately after right here on WTMJ. John Mercure, host of Wisconsin's Afternoon News, along with Dr. Ken Harris from 101.7 The Truth, will host the show. They'll have the highlights, the lowlights, the good moments that you absolutely have to see. It'll all be covered right here. Decision Wisconsin, the WTMJ post-debate show, immediately following that first Republican presidential primary debate, Wednesday, August 23rd.
We'll have people in the spin room. Ken will be in the spin room.
Is he doing his own spin?
It's always my favorite. My favorite term for something, spin room.
They literally call it the spin room. Like, here's where you go and get everybody's
and
hot
we'll tell
take.
you what we think you should think about.
7:43, Brewers manager Craig Counsell up next.
It's outdoor living time. Make the most of it this year. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited transform your space into your outdoor living dream. A deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. We live for summer around here. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
You know, it feels good when I find something really cool and get a great deal on it. But it feels even better when I know that the money I spend actually goes directly to helping others. That's why I shop at St. Vincent de Paul, because I always find the best bargains, and the money I spend stays in Milwaukee County to help fight hunger and eliminate poverty. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton in Greenfield and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
How can I ensure my wishes are carried out after my death? Hi, I'm Kim Steinbrenner with Steinbrenner Financial Group and your Dave Ramsey SmartVestor Pro. Tune in to the Dave Ramsey program weeknights at 9 o'clock or visit steinbrennergroup.com to learn more.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers are back home tonight looking to keep pace in the NL Central Division. Milwaukee welcoming in the Minnesota Twins to begin a two-game series in the Brewer City. Brewers' first pitch is all set for 7:10 versus those Twins. Wade Miley expected to get the start for the Brew Crew.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Brewers manager Craig Counsell on the line with us this morning. Morning, Skipper.
Good morning.
Hey, man, it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow. You've got an afternoon game at American Family Field. Roof open or roof closed better for you?
Oh wow, I think it'll be open. Yeah, that's my guess. It'll be open. It almost gets worse if you close it up. So,
right, because then you get no circulation, right?
Yeah, there's no air conditioning in the building, so it gets worse. So my guess is it'll be open. Yeah.
Do the trainers come out then and say, "Okay, everyone drink 8 cups of water"? Like, are there like rules or expectations for hydration?
It's funny, but we'll put signs up today for sure. Just reminding guys to hydrate starting today for sure because, it's for Corbin who's pitching and the catcher, that's a rough day and it's a day where you're definitely going to lose a lot of weight.
Did you like hitting in the heat?
The conditions didn't improve my hitting anyway.
Yeah, actually, are there guys who are going to like it? And you're like, oh yeah, this guy here likes it hot.
No, not what tomorrow's going to bring. I mean, tomorrow's a little different. We were in Texas. Fortunately, they have it's indoors and air conditioned, but outside it was 108 for most of the weekend, and it was different walking around for sure. So, tomorrow we don't have many days like this, fortunately, but tomorrow's going to be different for sure.
I don't know. Whatever we can do to emulate what happened this past weekend would be fantastic. So if there's a way we can heat it up and have it cool inside somehow for you.
That's not a bad idea.
Hey, what was it, man? You come off a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Dodgers. Now you're at 500 on the road trip. Then you go in to face an equally amazing team in the Rangers, and you sweep them. I can almost hear you say it. Hey, man, that's baseball. But is it more than that? Is there something else that happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, we swung the bats really well. That's what happened. So, but you go in every day wanting to do that. The other team's got something to do with it. Trying to not let you swing the bats well. It's not just you dictating your will every day. That's why it's a competitive sports event. So, you try to you hopefully have guys that are feeling really good right now at the plate, and hopefully that carries over a little bit. But every day is a new challenge where that pitcher is trying to make great pitches and get you out and not let you hit the ball hard.
So, Skip, Vince here hates it when people talk about his birthday. He tries to keep that away from any conversation ever. When it is his birthday, he tries to pretend it's not his birthday. Where do you fall on the birthday spectrum? Do you expect the happy birthdays because it was your birthday yesterday, or do you hope that it never is brought up?
Yeah, maybe somewhere in the middle for me. Like as the birthdays pile up, it gets a little less exciting for sure. But it's one day out of 365, so well wishes are always you're thankful for them.
Well, you had an off day today. Did the family take care of you? Was there did we go out to dinner, or were gifts presented, various tributes?
Yeah, a long day of tributes that my family provided. That's what they like to do is tributes. No, we spent a day together, which is a great present for me.
Best gift ever. Brewers manager Craig Counsell with us on this Tuesday morning. Best of luck against the Twins, Skip.
Appreciate it, guys.
7:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark Tauscher joins us next.
Come play with us, Minnesota, forever and ever and... well, actually, just 2 games.
Drive out towards right center, headed towards the bullpen. Back is Garcia, and it is gone. Willie Thomas with a solo homer.
The Twins are at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network coverage presented by American Family Insurance starts tonight at 6:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Important update this morning.
Oh, yeah? Regarding your blowed-up leg?
My blowed-up left leg from water skiing. First of all, I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin yesterday. More on that in a moment. But when I had called to book my appointment, the scheduler told me, you're one of 8 or 9 water skiing calls I took this week.
Does that make you feel better?
A little bit, yeah. So people are blowing up their legs all over the place, water skiing. I never would have thought that, but I guess. So nonetheless, I finally decided I'm 2 weeks out from ripping my leg up water skiing and still have a limp and still have issues. My own guy from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, the surgeon who did my knee, actually reached out to me, having seen stuff on Facebook and others were talking about it at the office. He's like, you should probably come see me. Let's have a look. 2 things I want to tell you about it. First, got a really thorough exam. He doesn't think I tore anything, and there's no structural damage.
Great. Fantastic.
So best case scenario right there. I feel better because now I know I can get back to working out. I'm not going to do more damage. We put together a series of things that I can do at this point, at this point, at this point, and I feel really good about it. The other thing is, when folks go in for medical care, things are costly, and we're all cost conscious. I go in to see them, and initially they thought we're probably going to want to get some x-rays just to make sure there's nothing happening with your knee, just to make sure there's nothing happening with the hip joint. Sounded perfectly reasonable. My doc comes in, he gives me the thorough exam. They come back for the x-rays, and he says, go ahead and cancel that. I don't need to see anything else. I've evaluated this. There's nothing wrong here. And I really appreciate that. It would have been entirely reasonable to get that extra imaging done.
Just to see it, yeah.
Right. But that would have been costly, and he's looking at it. I don't see that as necessary. And that's really important. You go to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, nobody there is going to try to push procedures on you. Nobody there is going to try to schedule unnecessary stuff. They're going to take a look, they're going to examine, they're going to present to you a series of options to help you feel better. And whatever you're comfortable with, that's where they'll go with your medical care. I recommend their doctors to anyone. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Well, then it's time to start thinking custom made. I'm John Hagenson, host of Creative Planning's Rethink Your Money. And every Saturday, you hear me talk about the importance of having a financial plan built around your unique goals. And this week, we're offering you a chance to get started on your very own custom-made plan with a free wealth path analysis. Don't miss this opportunity to learn how a customized plan can get you to your retirement goals even faster. Learn more at creativeplanning.com/radio.
At Sendik's, great taste isn't expensive. Premium frozen cod loins are just $5.99 per pound all this week. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie?
All right. Well, we do have an issue on 94, actually 43 northbound, the Rock Freeway. On the ramp to get onto 894 eastbound, we got an accident there in the Gore, and that's definitely going to be slowing your ride down a little bit. We've also got an issue on 94 southbound in Kenosha County, right about at Highway E. Some debris in the roadway, and they may have to close down that left lane heading through that area. So heads up with that. We've also got a crash on, well, it was a crash, 94 eastbound at 13th Street. But that has actually been cleared out of the way, so things are getting a bit better through there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
What, is it hot?
WTMJ 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
Oh, golly, I'm hot today.
Actually, today, not too bad. High of 82 degrees. It will be a bit on the humid side with a chance of showers to the north. Partly cloudy, muggy conditions tonight. Low temperature 71. And then we get hot for Wednesday.
And the heat! My God, the heat!
Very hot and humid. High of 100 degrees, heat index reaching 110. Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid. High of 96, turning a bit cooler lakeside. Once again, that heat index over 100. Then we cool off on Friday. Partly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms, high of 81. Saturday's high, a cool 75 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Right now, 70 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
You go somewhere where you don't know and you don't really study much, just kind of assume that everything is smaller, and then you realize the distance is the same here as it is in the U.S., even though it's metric and everything else.
Innovator.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, and in this case, I don't know if I'd say it was bliss, but I was definitely ignorant.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
You just made the open for tomorrow.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Nothing gets by producer of the program, Greg Pancake Hill. Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by your Southeastern Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Yeah, Tausch, you were off when I blew up my leg water skiing. Or I was off, then you were off. We haven't had a chance to reconnect on that. I now got from my Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, my medical team at Ortho Wisconsin, that I didn't tear anything. So I'm 2 weeks out. How soon till I'm playing tennis again?
But you watching sports and hearing injuries, wow, he sprained the ligament. He didn't tear it. And I'm always like, I've known it long enough now. Yeah, you did tear a ligament. That is what a sprain is a torn ligament. So I don't know. It sounds like you were getting out in front of your skis, trying to be the young Vinny, and you blew your leg up. I had something similar, and not to the same degree of what you had and your great team over at Orthopedic Associates, but I was walking in, you know how there's a hot tub and then a swimming pool at most hotels?
Sure.
And I'm walking out, and I didn't realize somebody had turned the jets on. And I missed a step, and I popped my hamstring in a hotel pool of 2 feet of water. And when I'd finished doing that, well, you know, we're in Europe, and we're walking these streets. There's big hills in Lisbon, Portugal. That is when I realized there's been a lot of times that it kind of, I know I'm not an NFL player anymore. I still like to think of myself. I play pickleball, I golf, I play tennis. I thought this might be the beginning of where I need to start coming to grips with, I'm a 46-year-old man that is not what he used to be when you pull your hamstring walking in 2 feet of water in a hotel pool.
Well, I mean, that's almost as bad as, like, you walk around with a limp or something's bothering you and it's like, oh, what did you do? Like, woke up?
Nothing.
Today?
Missed a step. Yeah, and honestly, Eric, the first thing I thought of when that happened, and then my kids were like, we got to go here, we got to do this, and I'm kind of like, all right, we'll do it, but I'm going to have to grind through it, was when, do you remember when Sammy Sosa missed games because he sneezed? He sneezed too hard, and he, like, hurt something in his back, and ever since I heard that story, I said, I can't ever imagine having to go into our trainer's office and say, hey, I can't practice today, I sneezed too hard. So I do the triple, I sneeze in small increments just to make sure I don't pull something sneezing. That was kind of the catalyst for me always. The way I've changed my sneezing pattern was because of Sammy Sosa's injury.
It's so funny you say that. I used to tease Sosa or talk some smack about that story. Oh, this guy's sneezing, yada, yada, until I had my own back problems.
Yeah.
And I was like, never again.
That's for real.
Never again. It's for real.
All that stuff, it's super easy to criticize everybody. And then once it happens to you, you're like, I get it. I understand what is going on.
So what do you think?
So, Vinny, are you going to get back out? You're not going to try to water ski the rest of this water skiing season, though, are you?
No, that's a once-a-year thing for me anyway. I'll get back up on those skis next summer. My problem
But you're not doing the one-legged. You're
correct.
Done with that.
That will be done with that and retire.
Lessons learned. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going in a hotel pool ever again. I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm not doing the one step down on a hotel pool either.
Back in the game very soon. Thanks, Tausch, for talking in tomorrow.
See you guys.
Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
Everybody heard. A new Children's Wisconsin clinic on West Good Hope Road gains a City Plan Commission endorsement Monday. It would replace a nearby existing urgent care clinic in Wauwatosa. Milwaukee County is seeking a buyer for its last available block of Park East land north of downtown Milwaukee. The county took over that site more than 20 years ago after the Park East Freeway was demolished. The Cheel restaurant is preparing for a big reopening this fall in Thiensville after a fire forced it to close in 2020. It is currently hiring to fill a range of jobs. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Brookfield GMC has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, all bundled under the James Managed Print Services program. Brookfield GMC controller Jay Doyle.
They can track where the printer supplies are, the toner supply is getting down or low, and then they'll ship us a new toner.
And there's more. James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services also includes parts and service.
Exactly, yes. We had a fuser go out in one of our printers, and they came out and replaced that right away. So repair and our supplies are maintained.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. All your document output devices, service, supplies, and parts wrapped up in one low monthly invoice. Now that's a good value.
It's a big value because of all the services.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
It's not a gimmick. It's simply comprehensive, fee-only financial planning to get all your arrows pointed in the right direction. And although rate of return is important, there are many factors that are equally, if not more important. There's a strong belief among financial experts that tax planning is more important than rate of return. And at Financial Strategies, we strongly believe that is what sets us apart. As a result of our strategies, our clients have saved significantly on their taxes. They were prepared to pay the taxes and elated when we shared how they could avoid them. We want to grow your investment and protect it, and we've proven to be very good at doing just that. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Time to see double as it takes two to tango.
Weaver, a high fly ball, deep center field. Going back is Nimmo. At the track, at the wall, gone! Joey Weaver.
The Twins come to Milwaukee for a set of games in the Brew City.
Oh,
Our Brewers Twins coverage gets underway right here on WTMJ beginning at 6 p.m. tonight. We are your home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
8:02. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, August 22nd. Our top story, Brew City prepares to become debate city.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Donald Trump eyes Georgia.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound on 41, just a little bit past Wisconsin Avenue, we've got an accident off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. We've also got some debris in the roadway, actually crash on northbound on the Rock Freeway on the ramp to get onto 894 eastbound, so just heads up with that. It is out of traffic on the left shoulder, but just something to keep in mind. And then eastbound 94 from the Zoo Interchange, pretty much all the way through to about 27th Street. Going to be riding the brakes there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Not bad today. Partly cloudy, warm, be a bit on the humid side with a slight chance of showers and a high of 82 degrees. It stays muggy overnight, though, low of 71 under partly cloudy skies, and then we heat up for midweek. Right now we're at 71 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee 2024 host committee certainly hard at work both this week for the debate and then on next year's RNC.
Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News their job is wrangling the logistics for these big events.
We work very closely with Visit Milwaukee, and we also work very closely with the Republican National Committee's Committee on Arrangements.
Prange's already looking ahead to next year when the committee will help house all the delegates at the Republican National Convention.
Every official hotel room for the convention is actually contracted in Wisconsin, and so we're keeping all those visitors coming into the state next summer in Wisconsin.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Former President Donald Trump posting on social media that he plans to turn himself in to Georgia authorities later this week to face his felony charges on conspiring to overturn the 2020 presidential election. ABC's Aaron Katersky is in Atlanta with more on the process that the former commander-in-chief will undergo once he arrives at the Fulton County Jail.
When former President Trump arrives here on Thursday, the sheriff has said just like all 18 of his co-defendants, he expects the former president to be fingerprinted and have his mugshot taken, and he'll be doing it at a rather notorious jail. It is classically overcrowded, and it's also under Justice Department investigation after the recent death of an inmate whose body was found covered in bugs.
The judge set the former president's bond at $200,000.
17-year-old girl dead following a shooting late Monday in Milwaukee. Police report it happened on the northwest side, 96th and Bradley. They are still searching for suspects. That makes at least 18 children who've died by homicide in the city this year.
State senator is pushing back against proposals to tear down a portion of I-794 in Milwaukee. Saukville Senator Dewey Strobel says the proposal appears to be, quote, a solution in search of a problem. Strobel also pointing out that any proposal to remove a section of the freeway would need approval from the state legislature. The state DOT presented several ideas or plans for the 794 corridor at a public information meeting, one in Milwaukee, the other in St. Francis last month, ranging from full removal to rebuilding old portions of the current highway.
Coming up, buckle up, literally. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
The first Republican primary presidential debate is around the corner on Wednesday, August 23rd. Join like-minded friends at Americans for Prosperity, Wisconsin for a debate watch party, including commentary from Guy Benson of Fox News. We'll be at Explorium Brew Pub in the 3rd Ward starting at 6:30 p.m. Join us for food, drinks, and freedom. RSVP to secure your spot today at debateparty.org. This ad paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Radio Guy Emeritus Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Enjoy summer while it lasts, folks, because you know what's coming down the pike. Cold weather and high heating bills. It's not too soon to start thinking about new windows and doors from Hometown. They have options that fit every home, every style, and every budget, even yours. Their huge New Berlin showroom has the area's largest display of replacement windows, doors, and patio doors from national national brands like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softline, and more in wood, Fibrix, fiberglass, and vinyl with scads of features including Wonder of Wonders, blinds inside the glass. What's more, Hometown offers you dedicated project consultants with products installed by Hometown's own employee carpenters. Stop in today or call 414-329-1200 or go to hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
We know that the people of Milwaukee are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Vincent High School in Milwaukee closed today due to a major power outage that comes as temperatures begin to rise in southeast Wisconsin. MPS says staff is working to restore power as soon as possible.
The feds are proposing new standards for boosting safety belt use.
The new rules proposed by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration would require manufacturers to equip vehicles with additional seatbelt warning systems for the right front passenger and for the rear seat to encourage increased seatbelt use. The proposals would establish a visual and audio warning for the right front passenger seat that would continue until both the driver and front passenger seats have their belts buckled. For the rear seats, a visual notice lasting at least 60 seconds when the vehicle is started, and later a warning if it's unbuckled while in operation. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice, they all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Save now on heirloom quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture's Labor Day sale.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mine Shaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring an experienced bar manager with income upwards of $60,000 a year and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:10.
All right, that earlier accident on northbound 41 north of Blue Mound Road has been cleared out of the way, so that's good news. On northbound Rock Freeway, the ramp to get onto 894 eastbound in the Hale, we do still have an accident there in the Gore. Just be careful as you're making your way through there right now from Highway 100 into the Hale. It's going to be the slow spot. Eastbound 94, slowing from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange, and southbound 43, that's backing up from just south of Good Hope Road, pretty much all the way down past Burleigh. Help your fellow commuters out. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Discovery. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Today, not bad. Partly cloudy, warm, will be a bit humid, slight chance of showers and a high of 82 degrees. Don't see much cooling for tonight. Low temperature of 71 and muggy conditions. And then...
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
It's going to be both starting Wednesday. Mostly sunny, very hot and humid. High of 100 degrees, heat index of 110. Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid, high of 96 degrees. We'll turn a bit cooler lakeside on Thursday. Heat
Melt
index
your cheese.
105.
Why is it so hot in here? Ah!
Cooling off for Friday then. Partly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms, high of 81. Saturday's high is going to feel amazing. Actually, you're going to need a coat after all this. Mostly sunny and a high of just 75 degrees. 71 right now in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
I love you.
bet. 12 minutes after 8 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This Tuesday morning, it's going to get for real hot, man. We had Niznansky on with us earlier today. He said he actually believes, like, he didn't just throw 100 out there to be...
Just to do it?
To be cool. Like, he thinks Milwaukee, where they record the temperature at the airport, has a pretty good shot at making triple digits tomorrow. That would be a record for that particular day, not the hottest ever. I think our absolute ever record high air temperature is like 104. Does that sound right, E?
Yeah. It's not 113. I know that.
It's not that. So, going to be for real hot. We'll be talking about that more through the day and into Wednesday.
It is short, though. It's not, this is,
we can do this.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, and then we cool off considerably.
Yeah.
But seriously, what's that 75-degree high going to be like on Saturday?
You're going to need a coat. You know what? This is coming at such a unique, interesting point, too, because we have the debate tomorrow. Downtown Milwaukee, there's going to be a lot of people out and about. There's going to be a lot of people, whether they're demonstrating, performing, doing different things, being seen and seen.
You know what? Here's a local news story that you'll see. If you're protesting in this weather,
yeah,
right? Tips for how to protest and stay cool. Do that right after the zoo animals. How do they stay cool?
So let me ask you this: Does this throw water on that or no? With it this hot,
I think
prevent
definitely
some people from going out there?
Said that protesting is a lot less fun when you're not comfortable. When the weather's great, it's all good, then you're really committed to the cause. When it's 100 degrees, feels like 110, or when it's below zero, a lot fewer marches. They're a little bit smaller, right? So I think definitely that will suppress some of that activity that we would expect to see outside Fiserv Forum tomorrow. On that, the debate stage is set here for Milwaukee tomorrow night. First GOP presidential debate, going to be at Fiserv Forum. It's tomorrow night, 8 p.m. our time on Fox News. Important to note, and you did point this out, I guess I hadn't really thought about it, but it's not airing anywhere else other than Fox News. So if you don't have that...
This happens quite often during the primaries that a certain network will have the debate. They're the ones running the debate. This isn't one of those ones that just is aired everywhere, so you're not going to hear it on the radio. You're not going to see it on just the network TV. And we always get the calls. We get the calls every time there's a debate like this. Yeah.
We don't have the rights to it.
We can't.
We can air the highlights.
Yes,
actually, really good point.
And we'll do.
Point in time for me to mention to you that presidential primary debate post-game show, if you will. The post-debate show is going to be hosted by John Mercure and Dr. Ken Harris. Mercure, host of Wisconsin Afternoon News. Dr. Ken Harris from 101.7 The Truth is going to be in the spin room at Fiserv Forum. So the two of them are going to host a post-debate show. So that may be, if you don't have another way of seeing it, there are some watch parties around. But if you don't have Fox News and you can't watch it, that might be your first opportunity to hear some of what went on during the debate. So John and Dr. Ken will have that for you immediately following the debate at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night. I mentioned that the stage is set. Former President and GOP frontrunner Donald Trump will not participate. We already knew that. He announced that decision this weekend.
That seems like a mistake to me. Don't you think you got to think that every candidate's like, thank God.
I think for sure that's the case, the latter. In terms of whether it's a mistake, I really question whether or not that's a matter of legal stuff. There's a reason you hire lawyers, and those lawyers have to be for the same reasons they told him not to have that news conference on Monday that he desperately wanted to do, and then pull back on. I have to think, they're like, Mr. President, this is not a play. Like, we're in actual legal trouble here, and people can debate whether or not he should be or shouldn't be, but he is. And this stuff is serious, and your case here could well be in the hands of a jury, and you don't want to do anything to irritate the judge. You don't want to violate any rules. He has an order that he's not even supposed to participate or communicate with other possible defendants. Among them, one of them at least is going to be on that stage, former Vice President Mike Pence.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to say anything.
Maybe he finally knows himself well enough to know, like, I can't not say whatever I want to say.
And then he's going to turn himself in on Thursday.
So interesting timing there. I suggested maybe he would do it Wednesday night. I think your lens on this is probably right. Never mind Wednesday night, because then he wouldn't get the attention he wants. Steal the narrative right back from the debate. Make it a one-day story. If Thursday's story isn't, how did everybody do in the debate? And it's Trump's going to turn himself in. Right. So good political strategy there on his part.
We'll see how long that goes and what that looks like. I still think that if Republicans, I know how to do it. If they're looking to defeat him, if the idea is to defeat him and prevent him from getting the nomination, I know the answer. They all have to drop out. One of them, there can only be one that goes up against him. When it's 8 against 1, you're not going to beat him.
And that's how he won the nomination the first time around. Way more people wanted not Donald Trump, not candidate Trump at the time. They wanted not him. They wanted someone else. The problem was they divided their someone else so evenly across that big field, and former President Trump would emerge with 30-some% of the vote or whatever in a state, but that would be the majority and he'd win the state. And I absolutely agree that would play out in the primary and caucus season when that starts next year. Let's talk about who's going to be on the stage tonight. This much we know. It's 8 people who have qualified, and there were a handful of qualifications that these candidates needed to meet in order to be on the debate stage, according to the Republican National Committee. They had to accumulate at least 40,000 donors, and they had to hit 1%, which is a pretty low margin. 1% in a number of qualifying national and state polls. So here is your lineup. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador and former Governor of South Carolina Nikki Haley, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, former Vice President Mike Pence, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, and Senator Tim Scott, also of South Carolina. So that's the lineup for the debate. These are the folks who are actually going to be on stage. There are a couple of other minor candidates, the mayor of Miami and 1 or 2 others who are making noise about how come we're left out, claiming perhaps they had met the thresholds, yada, yada, yada. They're out.
There's only so many people you can put up there.
I mean, 8 people is still a lot on the debate stage. I'm interested to talk, if I have an opportunity to have any conversation with them. Brett Baer is going to monitor the debate from Fox News. Moderate the debate. And he'll be joined by Martha McCallum as moderators. Interested to see how do you have a cohesive discussion? How do you get into the stuff when you've got 8 people who need to split time up there?
Yep, all looking to leave a mark, especially because of Trump not being out there. That's a question you could ask him. Speaking of Brett, you are actually going to get some FaceTime with him today.
Well, he's going to get FaceTime with me. I was invited, Eric.
That's right.
Fox News, and Brett does his show from 5 to 6 o'clock tonight, live from Milwaukee. He'll be inside Fiserv Forum. He's doing a debate preview show, and Fox News reached out to a number of outlets. I don't know who else is on the list, but they were looking to assemble a panel of locals, people like me, other hosts or other journalists who might provide a Wisconsin perspective on what's going on here. So I've been invited to participate in that. Also would surprise me not at all if I got bumped or that segment got bumped to someone remotely more important than me walks around, because who knows who all has access to Fiserv Forum tonight.
All of a sudden they see what? They see someone who's a little bit more...
Reince Priebus. Hey, let's grab Reince. Right. You're out. Somebody important, and that's just how the business goes, right? So, fine. I really appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate Fox reaching out and wanting to get a local perspective. I'm not sure what they're going to ask. Do you want to prep this? Should we do debate prep?
Yes.
All right, you're Brett Baer right now. Mm-hmm. What are you going to ask? Welcome to Milwaukee. 8:20.
It appears we have former Governor Tommy Thompson. So Vince, you'll have to take a step over. I'm going to talk to Tommy instead.
Wait, I got some hot takes, Brett. Hey.
All right, first question.
Drag me off.
First question would be: what are Wisconsin Republicans expecting to hear in the debate at Fiserv Forum?
Expecting to hear? I kind of wasn't ready for that one.
Yes. A little more open-minded question there.
I think on the same thing in terms of what they're looking for. They're looking for someone who is presidential, right? They're looking for a contender, someone who's viable. Who else? And President Trump's going to get who he's going to get. And in that respect, I don't know that skipping the debate hurts him at all in Wisconsin. Those who are devoted to him are deeply devoted to him. In terms of the rest of this field, they're looking for are there a couple of these candidates who I think can win? Not just the nomination, but I think can win the general election. Does someone appear ready to fill those shoes?
Which person speaks most closely to Wisconsinites?
I'm going to offer you one not so hot take. Governor Ron DeSantis first, because he's polling well. Outside of that, Wisconsin has many close ties to Florida. A lot of folks have property here. People vacation there. They've gone to Florida and seen what Ron DeSantis governing that state looks like. And so on the GOP side, they're certainly favorable to it, so I think he has a good chance. Outside of that, here's the wild card, is former Vice President Mike Pence. He was close with former Governor Scott Walker. He's a Midwest governor and kind of just a plain-spoken Republican. He could also appeal to the state.
What about Tommy?
Stick it to him!
the opposite of Mike Pence, right, in every way.
So likely, you're thinking maybe you get to answer 2 questions, right?
Maybe.
If there's a panel of 4 or 5 people up there...
Right.
Who are you sitting next to? Bill Glauber from the paper? Like, who else is going to be on that panel?
No idea, right? It can't be any of the TV stations because they're not going to give somebody up and put them on another network. I wouldn't think. It's got to be other radio. I don't know if anybody at ISN.
Bob and Brian.
That'd be awesome. It'd be fun. Right? Why not? I don't want to say anything stupid.
I want a full report tomorrow, though. So when are you on?
The show is from 5 to 6 p.m. I've not been given a start time. I've given a report time. It's not full hair and makeup, too. I did ask.
So you got to do all that, huh?
Well, because if you show up all done up, right, and then they have like an actual makeup artist, and if I've done stuff with Network before, they usually have people for that. You show up all, like, they want to do you their way.
Right.
So, actually, a lot of respect for people in that business. And you know what else?
Because you got to put up with those egos.
Makeup artists, no, they have the best stories. There was somebody that we worked with at TMJ4 who, if we ever had big shoots, and it wasn't usually often, we certainly didn't have somebody who did it with us on a daily basis. But Linda was our lady very often. And she works with, I'm sure she'll be working with Fox in this. Any high-profile event, she's one of the top people. They call her. Awesome. She's got stories about everybody. This person I like. This person I didn't like. This person said mean stuff to me. This person wasn't nice to other people. This person was really nice.
Oh, I believe that happens all the time. Oh, that's great.
And they get that time when there's 5-10 minutes in the chair and whatever. Some people like to talk, some people don't.
So get a good look if you can. Take a picture of the stage, too, and see how it's all set up. And
are they going to let me just kind of run around in there?
I hope so. Act like you own the place. You got your badge on already.
I have a nice credential.
You've had your press badge on all day today.
I was wearing that just to be conspicuous.
About the size of
my media credential.
Piece of paper.
Big pie plate around, I think. No, I think this gets me access to here and there.
No, it'll work. It looks
Flash
official.
it around. It looks very official. Mm-hmm. All right, fine. I will report back to you. Thanks for the debate prep today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
5 o'clock tonight on Fox News if you want to check it out. 8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape. Ronna McDaniel, she is the chair of the Republican National Committee.
The American public really wants to see what Republicans are putting forward and what our plan is to turn the tide.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank Talk and Text line 855-616-1620 and get a link sent directly to you. It's the countdown to the RNC podcast, only here on WTMJ.
Well, definitely. I've got a few weird little rites of passage. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lozic here for Hall Mazda in Brookfield. And I made my appointment for my brand new CX-30's very first oil change. It's like my baby's very first visit to the doctor. It's cool. I trust the service department at Hall Mazda implicitly. I know they're going to take care of anything that might be creeping up with the wear and tear, and they'll let me know exactly what, if anything, I need to do. It's what you get with Hall Mazda. No matter what kind of car you get, from the CX-30, the CX-50, the plug-in hybrid CX-90, they've got you covered with their attention to detail and the family feel that you get. Stop by Hall Mazda on Blue Mound Road in Brookfield, and you can experience the Hall Mazda season of discovery. At Hall Mazda, it's all good.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1979. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979 or biglou.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking in with Debbie at 827.
All right, northbound on the Rock Freeway, heading into the Hale interchange. We still have this accident being worked on. It is in the Gore area, the pointy part, as it were, where the things merge right in the Hale interchange. So careful with that. Off the freeway a little bit, westbound Highway 18 at Cosso Road. We've got an accident there with the left lane blocked. Actually, it's a broken down vehicle, but still, left lane's blocked, same effect. Eastbound 94 going to be slowing down from just before 84th Street through the stadium, and southbound 43 is still riding those brakes from Bender Road all the way down to Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Well, Abe said, where you want this killing done? God said, on Highway 61.
828 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bob Dylan is coming back to Milwaukee. The Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour will come in the fall. I thought it was interesting, Eric, first of all, because my dad's a huge Bob Dylan fan, and I saw him once. I can tell you that story again if you want, but what stood out to me about the thing, Pabst Theater Group books for a number of venues, including Riverside Theater, and when they send out these news releases, we get one almost every day, sometimes twice a day. Hey, here's another band we booked, here's another band we booked, and then when they tell you the band or bands that they've booked, at least a paragraph. Sometimes multiple paragraphs.
Some specs, some history.
This is a multi-platinum award-winning artist.
Yep.
And even if it's somebody that you've heard of and that you know well, you still get the whole bio on the soloist or the band or whatever. They've performed here. They've performed there. This is the thing. This is about the tour. This tour unites America behind the... Bunch of fluffy stuff about how great the band is. This was sent out from Pabst Theater Group that booked Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour. 2 shows, Wednesday, October 11th, 8 p.m., Thursday, October 12th, 8 p.m., the Riverside Theater. It gives the address. Tickets on sale starting Friday, August 25th at 10 a.m. Central. Lists the ticket prices. Says for tickets, visit bobdylan.com. End of news release.
That's great. That's great.
No, what do you want us to write about Bob Dylan?
Right? There's only so many artists that you can just kind of give. Okay, here it is. Here's the date. Here's when you can buy.
I bet you he had a hand in that.
Oh, do you think he's thinking about that stuff at all?
No, but I could see him saying, like, hey, don't send out a whole bunch of flowery crap. Just tell him I'm coming. If they want to come, they'll come.
I bet he doesn't even know emails are sent.
He doesn't even know he's coming to Milwaukee.
Right? Yes, I think that's also true.
You asked if I'd go see him. I don't think I will. I don't think I will ever see Dylan again for an assortment of reasons. He went through a really rough patch, actually, where my dad is a huge fan from the 60s on. And when I was a kid, it was absurd to us, my brother and me, like, who's Bob Dylan? Like, I'm going to listen to folk music. Even though Dylan really rocked at certain points in his career as well. But either way, like, this was my dad's music. I wasn't going to be into it. And then when we were, must have been going into my freshman year of high school, so late 80s, 88, 89, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Dylan was at Alpine Valley. He played with G.E. Smith of the Saturday Night Live band. Remember, he was the big, blonde, long hair, right?
Yeah,
that guy could just totally wail.
Awesome.
But it was a very simple musical set. You had a couple of guitars, keys, and drums, and that was about it. Wasn't a big horn section or anything else like that. It was pretty scaled back, and then it was Bob Dylan. And he did acoustic stuff, he did electric stuff. My dad, he asked me, do you want to go with me to see Bob Dylan? Of course I did not. At 7th or 8th grade or whatever I was. But for some reason, rare moment of clairvoyance for me, I thought, I think my dad is wanting me to come to this. Like, it wasn't just an offer, take it or leave it. You want to go to the ball game tonight. It was, I want you to come and experience this with me. So I'm glad I did, because it was amazing. Been a Dylan fan ever since. I'm not a diehard, but, I certainly love and appreciate his music. I like the guy. He's interesting.
So when's the date for the show?
October. 2 dates, 11th and 12th.
So,
but I don't think I'll go see him.
On the 13th, will we wake up to a text from your dad talking about the show?
Show's great. He's gone back. There was a period, and it was after that 88, 89 show where he didn't go anywhere. He's like, this is as good as I'm probably ever going to see him again.
I can respect that.
And why would, I don't want to go back and be like, he doesn't have it anymore or whatever. I think he's better now than he has been and puts on still a pretty good show. My dad's been back a number of times. If he asked me to go, I would go. But I don't know that I maybe just let that one stand at Alpine Valley.
Sure.
Right? Saw him once. He was amazing. End of story. If you'd like to go, again, 2 shows in October, the 11th and 12th. Tickets go on sale Friday at bobdylan.com.
The James Imaging Systems people, they're one reason why so many businesses choose to do business with James, like Brookfield GMC, controller Jay Doyle.
They're compatriots to the point where when I call, they act like they're your best friend.
Document imaging technology, managed print services, content management solutions, all supported by the James Imaging Systems people. People who are dedicated to helping your business do business better.
They do a great job. They're like it's one of your workers. They want to help.
Not tomorrow, not next week. Help when you need it. That's James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, they do a great job. They're there immediately, and it's a great feeling because I know they care.
James Imaging Systems.
I do love working with James Imaging. It's perfect.
Put the good people at James Imaging Systems to work for your business. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Our house needs a lot of work. That roof, siding.
J&J Contractors.
It's not just the outside. The bathroom needs to be completely redone.
J&J Contractors. They do it all with top-of-the-line quality craftsmanship that's all custom or semi-custom. J&J Contractors do full remodels of kitchens, baths, and basements. Your project manager is accessible to you the entire time, on-site or via their cell phone. No being passed from person to person. Visit their beautiful showroom in Greendale today. Just Google J&J Contractors.
Heiser Summer Tee-Up and Wind Event is happening now. Cool off in our showrooms and try your luck on our putting greens. Everyone is welcome, it's fun, and there's no purchase necessary. Win golf passes to 30-plus local golf courses, special Heiser discounts, and much, much more. Visit Heiser.com and stop by one of our locations by August 31st. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details. Sponsored by Executive Greens LLC, golfwisconsin.com. It's August 31st, 2023.
At Staples, school savings are always in session, from art supplies and essentials to the latest tech. In stock and priced low. School on, save on at your local Staples store.
It's 8:34. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, August 22nd. Your top story, hard at work, preparing for a debate.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got eastbound on 94, slowing down a bit from the zoo into downtown. We're looking at a 13-minute ride, so give yourself a little bit of extra 6 minutes. Southbound 43, Brown Deer Road to the Marquette, riding the brakes from just north of Bender Road all the way down to about Locust. Right now it's 21 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into the Marquette. And they're still working on this accident on the Rock Freeway northbound heading through the Hale interchange to get onto 894 eastbound. Just heads up with that. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
One more moderately temperate day before heat and humidity make their way to southeast Wisconsin. 82 your high today. A chance of showers north near Fond du Lac and Sheboygan and points north of there. Overnight, partly cloudy and muggy, a low of 71. Then triple digits could be in the forecast for Wednesday. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee hard at work this week for both the Republican debate coming up tomorrow and next year's RNC.
Host Committee Chief of Staff Allison Prange tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News their job is wrangling the logistics for these big events.
We work very closely with Visit Milwaukee, and we also work very closely with the Republican National Committee's Committee on Arrangements.
Prange's already looking ahead to next year when the committee will help house all the delegates at the Republican National Convention.
Every official hotel room for the convention is actually contracted in Wisconsin, and so we're keeping all those visitors coming into the state next summer in Wisconsin.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A 17-year-old girl dead this morning following a shooting late Monday in Milwaukee. Police say it happened on the city's northwest side near 96th and Bradley. Still searching for suspects this morning. To this point in 2023, at least 18 children have died by homicide in the city. And with those extremely hot temperatures forecasted for the area tomorrow, the Brewers will be taking measures to make sure their players stay hydrated during the team's day game against the Minnesota Twins. Manager Craig Council tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
We'll put signs up today for sure, just reminding guys to hydrate starting today for sure, because for Corbin who's pitching and the catcher, that's a rough day, and it's a day where you're definitely going to lose a lot of weight.
An excessive heat warning takes effect for all of southeast Wisconsin starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Forecasted highs could be around 100 degrees, heat indices eclipsing 110. Your complete 5-day forecast coming up in a few moments. First, time for some news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update at the opening bell. All green for the major indices. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 25 points to 34,488. The S&P 500 up 14 to 4,414. And the NASDAQ Composite up 64 points to 13,561. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click on the Get Started button today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Times 8:37.
Coming up, how much screen time is too much for babies? That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is sponsored by the Racine Zoo's Animal Crackers concert series, live music along the lakefront.
Enjoy live music along the lakefront at Racine Zoo's Animal Crackers concert series. See Steely Dan, an award-winning Steely Dan tribute band, Wednesday, August 23rd. Get your tickets today at racinezoo.org.
Colliers, Wisconsin is in the business of finding companies the right home. Hi, I'm Lyle Landowski, President and CEO of Colliers, Wisconsin. When it came to our own space, we decided downtown Milwaukee was the place to be. Downtown has the amenities, activity, and access to talent that has propelled our growth for the last 10 years. We're proud to call downtown Milwaukee home and welcome the opportunity to help you become our neighbor. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At QC Kinetics, we have story after story of patients freed from agonizing pain through amazing regenerative treatments. But this one, well, it's special.
My father, who is 70 years old, had both of his knees worn out. He went to an orthopedic surgeon who said, you need both of your knees operated on. We can book you for next week.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, Medical Director for QC Kinetics.
Had him come to QC Kinetics. We treated both of his knees using our protocols with regenerative medicine. Within a few months, he was back to walking. A few months later, he was at the gym exercising 3 times a week. He can keep up with our 3.5-year-old little girl.
No surgery, no complicated rehab or downtime.
It's completely life-changing for him.
You have options too. Before they whisk you away to surgery, slow down. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
20 minutes before 8 o'clock, there's a story in the news today about how screen time affects our youngest children.
It really shouldn't be that, really shouldn't shake us, right?
Shocking. Shocking.
That this would be an
Well,
issue.
I was surprised that we were even talking about screen time for 1-year-olds.
A new study in the journal JAMA Pediatrics finds 1-year-olds exposed to more than 4 hours of screen time a day.
Wait, right? Stop.
4 hours.
Should be able to know that's too much. If any, I mean, like, I bet you they would say any screen time for a 1-year-old. That should be 0.
4 hours of screen time a day. Any 1-year-old that's exposed to that, they're up to 3 times as likely to experience developmental delays in speech, problem solving, social skills by the time they are 2 years old.
Man, those first year, 2 years, those first months even are so important in that early development of a child. And I only know that because my wife has a psych background, and listening to her about all those things in those first months and years, man, it's important.
Yeah, you can't fall for it. It's super easy. I can't tell you how many times.
Screens are everywhere. It's hard.
I'll be at a restaurant and I'll see some kid just kind of sitting there in the little booster seat and just kind of scrolling through. And these kids are tiny.
Yeah.
And I can judge because I didn't do that. My kid didn't have an iPad
You
in front
win
of
the
him
award
at the restaurant, so I am judging you.
You're the best parent ever.
I'm going to walk up to him. Hey. I showed them this study from the journal.
Should your little one really be on the screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
How do you live with yourselves? 842.
That's so
Wisconsin's
me, by the
Morning
way.
News.
Where are we putting that money, and why are we putting it there? At Financial Strategies, you'll get answers to those questions to understand our approach. And the answers are going to be based on what we've learned about you. We're very engaged with our clients so that what we do for them fits their particular needs. But there are other things that we do that are equally important to the investment management portion of our services. I can't express how important it is to control the things you can control. At the end of the day, most investment managers will end up yielding similar overall returns. But knowing how to manage them wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally of course, well, that's what I truly believe sets us apart. This is Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-577-0892.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com
or call 800-577-0892. That's 800-577-0892.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now's a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows. Why put it off? The lines are shorter, and we'll be ready to take on your next project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Traffic is sponsored by Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses.
For affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, you've got to get to Built Right today. Built Right Furniture saves you money. 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:45.
Alrighty, well, northbound on the Rock Freeway, that accident in the hail finally gone, so things are going to start working themselves out. Still a little bit tight through that area. We've also got the other issue on Highway 18 westbound, right about at Cosso Road, broken down vehicle blocking the left lane. Not on the freeway itself, just something to keep in mind, though. It's a heavily traveled area. Southbound on 43, riding the brakes from Bender Road pretty much all the way down past Locust. Once you get past that, you are good to go all the way through the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
8:45, Wisconsin's Morning News on this Tuesday morning. A couple of quick business-type stories I want to get through right now. American Airlines is suing a travel app that I hadn't heard of before. You'd heard of this before.
Yes.
It's called Skiplag.
Yes.
And the premise is, well, I'll just tell you what's front and center right there on the website. If you go to skiplagged.com, find flights the airlines don't want you to see. We're exposing loopholes in airfare pricing to save you money.
I'd like one ticket to Chicago. No baggage.
Had to. So the app or travel site, again, it's called Skiplagged. It promises to be an airline hack. You know, you see this all the time on social media. Here's a life hack on this, life hack on that. Cut your avocado this way.
Yep.
It'll change your life. I do like, this is how they drag you in. The airlines don't want you to know about this secret.
It's the website and the seats.
Click, 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 click,
Yeah,
click.
Of
Right.
course.
So here's the premise, though. They suggest that booking a flight with a connection in some cases can be cheaper and can save you money if you just get off the plane at the connecting city. So, for example, this is the example I drew up. If you want a direct flight from Milwaukee to Dallas, and just totally making this up here, but let's say that's $400, okay? You go online with XYZ airline, $400 to go direct Milwaukee to Dallas. However, let's say you also, with the same airline, find a flight to Denver that connects through Dallas, and for whatever reason, that flight's $350. What they do through this thing is it finds that these flights and then it books you on that. You don't check any bags, so if you don't have any checked baggage, you just go with your carry-on. When you arrive in Dallas, you just never board that next flight to Denver.
Right.
And you've saved $50. So that's what this travel app, Skipleg, promises. A number of major news outlets reporting now on a lawsuit that's been filed in federal court this week. This from The Guardian. The lawsuit alleges Skipleg deceives customers into believing that the American fares it displays will give consumers access to some kind of secret loophole. However, many of the fares shown on Skipleg are actually higher than what customers would pay if they bought a ticket directly from American's website or through official authorized American agents.
Because the website has to make money somehow. There has to be a reason why it would want to do this at all. It's got to siphon a little thing off the top, right? A little something.
Right. And I don't know if that's true. I mean, the airline's fighting back. They're not fighting back to protect you. Right? We want to protect our value because there must be a there.
Oh, sure.
They just don't like empty seats. And maybe people are saving money, maybe they're not. But nonetheless, this lawsuit has been filed. They're trying to get that taken care of in the skies.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
But to the latter point, corporations run the world.
They do. Here's a perfect example, or at least they try to, right? So ABC has this, the Associated Press has this story. 3 days after election night 2020, 3 days afterward, dozens of CEOs from the nation's largest companies logged into a Zoom call aimed to prevent the collapse of American democracy. That, according to several people who attended the Zoom call. The night before was when then-President Donald Trump had falsely declared victory in an address from the White House. He pointed to what he called illegal votes. The CEOs were horrified, said the Yale University professor who was helping convene the call. He said some of the CEOs showed up to that early morning call in pajamas. Most expressed grave concerns, he added. And it just got me thinking of like the Avengers with that World Security Council where they're all on a different screen and it's like dark and you can hardly see their face.
You're dealing with forces you can't control.
So there was recognition that if Trump was able to do this, like there was a concern that if he was able to do this, that it would change the country in a way that instability is never good. And to see a president to be able to kind of dictate whether or not the president remains commander in chief became a concern for these CEOs. So what did they do? Well, they released a strongly worded press release the next day saying, hey, we got to make sure that we understand that the votes that counted were the votes that are real. This was the Business Roundtable, a trade association that represents 200 CEOs, including JP Morgan's Chase CEO, the Walmart CEO. So it's some pretty big names in this.
I'm just interested in that process, how you assemble all these folks, get them all to show up and speak apparently candidly with one another about what they're seeing, regardless of the issue.
Well, so here's what's also interesting about this story. So then they had another meeting after the January 6th thing. They had a conference call then. And many of the major companies also publicly promised to halt campaign donations to members of Congress who had voted against the certification of the election results. So they said, like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to give you money if you're just, because we don't want chaos. We need stability. It's better for business, right? Let's not donate to these lawmakers that are causing some quote unquote trouble. Well, that didn't last very long. Like, some of those donations have come back, and here those guys sit in their dark rooms with their Zoom calls.
You're running the world's greatest covert security network, and you're going to leave the fate of the human race to a handful of freaks.
I'm not leaving anything to anyone. We need a response team.
WTMJ Now with Steve and Sandy.
I've done this before. Like, everything in life doesn't need a play-by-play. Everything in life is like, oh, is that how you're going to stack the dishes? Especially when you're living with someone. Like, everything doesn't need a comment. Unless it's a deal breaker, it just doesn't need a comment.
Everyone has solid, defined position. There's no gray. It's like this or that. There's no understanding. There's often lack of communication. If you can't have a conversation with somebody, you're not doing life right.
Weekdays